Hello and welcome back to the stream. Yeah, we apparently made Twitch affiliate. I finished my stream the other day and I had all this weird new stuff, and yeah, apparently I am an affiliate, which means absolutely nothing. I'm not sure what it means really, but I made it, so yay, good for me. I think it's only like really important when you make like not affiliate, when you make partner or something like that, but that's okay. One step at a time. Well, without further ado, let's get to our everybody's favorite segment on the Pandadora stream, the spelling bee and the mini crossword. Yay. It's not letting me play. Oh. All right. I have to use the letter R. Wow, this is actually going to be hard. Cart. Doing real well, guys. Doing real well. Tart. Cataract. That is a good one. That is a good one. Girt, furt, dirt, curt, cert. Rot. Not a word. Okay. Arco. No. Arc. I was going to say Arctic, but that is not. There's no I. Why is this so dumb today? Tractor? Tractor. Alright, tractor was one. Trout. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Oral. Row something. Row, but gently down the stream. Roach. Oh no, no H. Row. Choo. Ah, Have we even used the letter U? There's got to be a reason why there's a U there. Rat. Row. Tor. No, that doesn't work. No, it needs an E. Oh, it needs an E too. I know that's not how it's spelled, but I just wanted to try it anyway. R, ra, ta ta ta, ta ta. Making up words, not a word. Yeah, I know that. There's got to be the reason why there's a U. Like, there's got to be a big U word. Ula, trata, cookie. Uluru? It might do Uluru. Let's try. It's a place name. Uluru? I don't know if that's how you spell it. Not a word. It's probably spelled it wrong. Not a word. Calculator. Calc. You. Late. Ta. Oh, that's a really good one. Oh. Lacto. Oh yeah, carrot as in like gemstone weight, carrot. And carrot as in vegetable. I tried Uluru. It didn't let me. I told you this game is racist against Australians. If I've said it once, I've said it twice. I've said it 50,000 times. A racism against Australians just because we're so cute and so popular and everyone wants to be our friends. Jealousy. Yeah, they don't want the word lolly. They don't want the word Uluru. What else did they say no to? They said no to heaps of Australian words. It's not on, guys. I, for one, will not stand up for this American racism against my fair country. Enough is enough. Church tower topper. Steeple? Doesn't fit. Boardwalk edition that raises rent to 2,000. Assume that's something about Monopoly. Plants in the agave family. Fucking no idea. Informal discussion. Chat. 9. PR buzz. Having trouble making friends on the first day of school. Say hello? Having trouble making friends on the first day of school. Say holder of a baby kangaroo. If we don't know this one, we should get our citizenship taken away. Cactus is an agave. Plant in the agave. But then it can't be cactus because cactus second letter is A. Cac. Doesn't fit anyway. There's not the right amount of letters. Like wool sweaters. I don't know, a fucking jumper? Is that what you're talking about, sir? Frickin' freak. Sports ride up after a game. I don't know, a winch? Church tower topper. What's the name of a church tower topper? Steeple. I mean, it's not steeple, so I don't know. Churches have steeples. PR buzz. Hype. That's hype, right? Flow. 5 down. Make happy. Practice is agave. Poncho. Well, it could be poncho, but then that means that 8 and 9 are both wrong because they don't fit. I mean, I'll try it. I'll put it in there. I'll see what happens. But P-O-N. It doesn't fit anyway. P-O-N-C-H. It doesn't fit. Sports write-up after a game. No idea. I think having trouble making friends at school on the first day, say 3 letters. What do you say? Hi, bye. Probably don't call the other kids. I don't know. Names. I don't know. Help. 3 like wool sweaters. I don't know. I'm not gonna get any of these. I'm just over it. Reveal the puzzle. Yep. Yeah, but I want to see the puzzle. Spire, hotel, yucca, shy, chat, hype. Okay, I did get those ones wrong. I mean, right. The ones that I did put in were right. Recap, sports recap. That does make sense. Okay, well, whatever. Well, now I'm on tilt. Hello, Poo Poo. Nice to see you. It's always nice when you have a good poo. Always feel a lot better afterwards. Good times. Elon Musk is having a sook on Twitter. What's new? I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. All of my clothes are itchy and I have to cut all the labels out. Oh no, he didn't say that. What did he say? I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Okay. All right. He's not being hyperbolic. He's the type of guy that says that women are hysterical, and then he says stuff like this. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. Someone said, what is he saying? Grok says, the FY 2025 congressional spending bill, including H. Con Res 14 and HR 1968, totals $1.6 trillion in discretionary spending. And then the breaks it down. Critics like Musk call it pork-filled due to funds for specific regions or industries. Do they mean pork-filled as in like pork barreling? I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that. Don't really know nor care. Oh, he's still breaking down. Call your senator. Call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. I can see Useless Dango on the screen, but I can't see Useless Dango in the chat. Is there a reason why? Hi, Useless Dango, if you're still around. I can't see you on my screen chat for some reason. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just spending money on the things he said he'd spend money on. I don't know. Don't really have much to say. Oh yeah, apparently Hassan said his favorite flag is the Hezbollah.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
Hezbollah flag.
Overall, what my favorite flag? Yeah, Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag.
I don't know flags.
It's this is a.
You know what? I'm gonna be brave.
Can someone explain this cutie Cinderella chick to me? Because she seems really brain dead. Every time I've heard her speak, she's like, health insurance? How do I get health insurance? Me, how do I do it? But then she's got all this money and she's running all these streams and she has all these popular podcasts. And I'm like, who is listening to you say anything? She's Ludwig's girlfriend. Yeah, I know that. But like, is this like a Margot Robbie situation where everyone thinks she's like a 10, but I just can't see it? Because I'm very confused. I get very confused sometimes. Rub-a-dub Dan, how's it going? It's going all right. More iDubbbz gossip. Vitaly gossip. And most of those popular streamers just like brain dead content bots. Yeah, but people must find her compelling on like some level. And they like, she's got a shit ton of money. Like, she's doing way better in life than I am. And I'm like, but she apparently can't even take care of herself. Like, she doesn't know how to pay her bills. She doesn't know how to do all this stuff. And I guess like when you've got enough money, you just pay someone else to do that for her. I'm sure her boyfriend does it. Oh yeah, he just wants to be edgy. Yeah, I don't know, maybe because I had to be self-sufficient from a young age. Like, I was 17 when I left home and I moved to the city and I started uni when I was 17. I turned 18 like a few weeks into uni, but still technically started at 17. So as soon as my HSC was done, I had a job and I was out and I was fending for myself, partially because I had to, couldn't really stay at home, not a good environment. But I just can't relate to people that, like, how are you alive? How old is she? Like 35, 36? How old is she? Let's have a look. Cutie Cinderella. She's 30. Yeah, she's 30 years old. I would have guessed a little bit older, but yeah, she looks like how she should for her age, more or less. But yeah, I am just perplexed.
More rate cuts could be on the horizon this morning with the latest economic figures revealing.
Yeah, I am second monitor. I am second monitor material. That's fine. I'm not upset. If you wanna put my weird voice saying weird stuff in the background while you try to go to sleep. Apparently a lot of people just have like long ass YouTube videos on while they fall asleep. And like, I'm sure the creators of those videos don't give a fuck because they're getting that ad rev. So yeah, whatever. If I'm getting a view, I'm getting a view. I'm not upset about it. Yeah, it's really nice just to have noise in the background sometimes, just like white noise so you can fall asleep. All right, let's see what this Russian weirdo is up to. I think the Vitaly guy's pretending that he found Jesus. because the Philippines is like very, very Catholic. So maybe he's like, oh, I found Jesus. I'm totally Christian now. You guys will let me out, right?
Vitaly has found God and he is seeking bail, according to his defense attorneys. And this is just as we have news that new charges may be headed down the pike for Vitaly in the Philippines. Of course, this is the legal mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney here in Asia, and we've been following these nuisance streamers like Vitaly, like Johnny Somali on my channel from start to finish, all the way from beginning to sentencing. So we have an update today in the case of Vitaly, which has been really boiling over the last 2 weeks as the legal teams are now sparring with the prosecution, submitting an information this week on 3 counts of unjust vexation, while the defense is coming up with any reason to get Vitaly out from behind bars from serving time in a Philippine prison. And today we also had an interview, and this interview was quite telling, that just came out with the secretary in the Philippines, as well as comments from Vitaly's lawyers. That was, of course, to give credit here, aired on ANC. A changed guy, lawyer says Russian vlogger Vitaly seeks forgiveness, had no criminal intent. So I'm going to give you guys a translation from some of these interviews and these articles. Obviously, thank you to members of my team that have translated that and fans that have translated that. Thank you so much for that. And by the way, if you want to support my team that's been translating and doing a lot of work and other stuff related to Johnny Somali and Vitaly, you can head over to Ko-Fi/Andrew Esquire and drop a donation for the team. So we'll start out here with a little bit of the translation. I'm going to read out what was said about Vitaly. So this is reported today.
Is that you, Bob? Yes, it is I, Bob. Please accept these credentials.
Today, it is possible that additional cases will be faced by the Russian vlogger who was arrested for harassing Filipinos, according to the Department of Interior and Land Government. His lawyer, Vitaly's lawyer, told the news that Vitaly has changed his ways and is asking for forgiveness from everyone he had aggrieved. This is reported.
It's always nice how they find Jesus, or they totally change their ways in between being charged and the court process, or between like the court process and the sentencing. They always find God. They're always able to change their ways. It's not suspicious at all. It's almost like if someone's, you know, kind of a dickhead, maybe a new way we could go about it is just charge, like, have everyone, you know, charged with something. Ask the cops, like, yeah, let's just charge him with something so that he, like, becomes a good dude. And then we'll drop the charges. Just, like, get the prosecution to decide, no, the Department of Prosecution just goes, oh, yeah, we've decided it's a waste of resources to prosecute this, so we're just not going to. I guarantee you they go straight back to being dickheads, though. It would be cool. It would be interesting to see if it worked.
Reported, of course, by Lisa Anguino, saying it's been 2 months spent in jail in the detention facility of the Bureau of Immigration. Complaints were filed against Vitaly after he harassed Pinoys in a mall and restaurant in Taguig City while live streaming. Next week, the hearing will start for 3 counts of unjust vexation, which should be happening very shortly. The prosecutor has already dismissed the charge of theft, but it's very likely, it's very possible that the vlogger is going to face additional charges, which could include what happened in Boracay. After investigation by the prosecution, said the Undersecretary Rumula, there are a lot of witnesses that came out, so they are currently being examined for the possible merits of the case. They're about to file it. Vitaly's lawyer told ABS-CBN News that Vitaly has gone through big change.
Yeah, the DPP are massive dickheads. It really depends. Like, I know a lot of people where the DPP just have like people that have been victims of crime, and the DPP has just put no effort into like preparing a prosecution, because the person in question, like the victim of the crime, you know, they're just like, oh, this person's just, you know, from a low socioeconomic background, and like what recourse are they going to do? They're not going to go ring their uncle who's the ombudsman of blah 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 blah. And they know when people, you know, don't have any social capital. So yeah, I'm talking about victims of crime and just how the DPP doesn't bother allocating a lot of resources unless the victim of the crime is like rich and they think they've got, you know, recourse. They can, you know, make complaints and go through like tribunals and get it looked at. And like I know somebody that's like related to a lot of legal professionals and have like uncles that are like ombudsmen for like not the legal ombudsman, but still they're very well connected. And when they're a victim of crime, the way the DPP spends all this time prepping and doing this, and then all this other stuff, and then I know people that have been victims of very, very heinous crimes, and it should be open and shut, and they don't do any victim prep. They don't like sit down, because obviously when you're the victim, like you're the main of a crime, you're the main witness for the prosecution, right? But sometimes they don't even bother talking to them before the court case, and it's just left up to like the court social worker to have to track people down and try and sort of give them some type of guidance. It's really fucked up. It's absolutely fucked up. Yeah, the DPP are just, I mean, there's a few, like I know a few good solicitors that work for the DPP in New South Wales, but yeah, they're people that have gone into prosecution after like being in private practice for a while, so they've made a lot of money, usually as defense solicitors or barristers, and then they've moved over to public prosecutions because they're already heaps rich, and I guess like it's kind of penance for being a dick and like getting heaps of criminals off. They decide to like become good people and move over, but yeah, for the most part. Plunk a witness in cross-examination. Well, you can't be precluded from cross-examination. That's the thing. Like even in CSA, they'll still cross-examine a child that's been, you know, had some of the most horrific things done to them you can imagine. They'll still, and look, there are some defense solicitors that are decent human beings and they won't go hard, but there are people that will go after girls that have been like gang assaulted, and just go so hard at them in cross-examination, just saying the most heinous shit. And it's like, and they've seen the forensics and they've seen, you know, they've seen all the medical reports. So they know what their clients did. And they're still like, I don't know how they can fucking sleep at night. Well, they probably sleep in a big pile of their money next to some hookers and cocaine. So I don't know, maybe they sleep all right. Who knows?
Changes during his 2 months in jail. He said if he is given the chance, he wants to personally ask for forgiveness from those he aggrieved. His attorney says he is better now because he has found his faith. We are a Christian nation. We believe in forgiveness, and I hope that we can arrive in forgiveness because this guy is really a changed guy and wants to seek forgiveness. In one statement, Rumula confirmed that he received a letter from Vitali asking him to drop the charges. However, his lawyer had a clarification. So we talked about that, by the way, last video and last couple of videos, but there's a clarification. So they want to clarify the focus is not about dropping the cases, but forgiveness. So of course, this is after people gave him the pushback on this, and we covered this, and this information got out there about dropping the cases. So now it appears they're trying to shift the tactic to forgiveness and Christianity and try to make it not about dropping the cases. So, you know, we can continue the case, right? Because it's about forgiveness and it's about moral forgiveness, which is something that happens in your heart, not necessarily in a courtroom, right? Anyways, his attorney also filed for a motion for bail. If found guilty, he may be facing a sentence of up to 18 months. A year and a half in the Philippines. So
yeah, he's totally not a flight risk, guys. He's totally not gonna hop on the first boat or first plane out of the Philippines. Not at all. Not at all. Giving him bail is a top idea. Very good. I don't see how anything could go wrong if he is granted bail.
This is a very important turning point, and I want to bring this up. And of course, as always, I do have a PowerPoint here. So let me throw this up on screen. And this is, of course, an update as of today. So the important thing to note here about Vitaly is right now he's got these 3 counts of unjust vexation. We talked about that. Those informations are supposed to be filed this week, sometime this week.
Honestly, those sentences aren't really that high. I thought it would be like the type of time Johnny Somali is looking at in Korea. I mean, if he only gets 1 to 3 months, he might even get time served. Just suck it up, mate. Like, you're man enough to go around fucking harassing, you know, normal village people just trying to go about their business. You should be able to suck up a few months in jail. Like, don't be a bitch.
Maybe later this week, Thursday, Friday, we'll see. And the estimate, once again, on the low end is 1 to 3 months behind bars or up to 18 months. Now, what we have today is the fact that new charges are coming, which is very interesting because many people have been asking questions. Well, what about Boracay? There's a lot of things that went down in Boracay. And what are we going to do about that? Well, it seems like those may be able to come in the future. And in fact, we saw this in the Johnny Somali case where they initially pursued one charge, just a very simple, easy to prove charge of obstruction of business. And then they added on charges later. So this may be how it works in the Vitaly case, where they initially are going to go with something very easy, unjust vexation. That is a layup in the Philippines. It's been described as one of the easiest and most simple things to prove. So they're starting with the simplest thing to prove, but that doesn't prevent them from adding more later if the prosecutor feels it's justified. And indeed, many, such as you guys in the comments below, feel it's justified. In fact, if you feel more charges are justified, let me know in the comments. So they're also claiming he reads the Bible daily, and they're obviously appealing to the Philippines as a Christian country. As someone who spent a lot of time in the Philippines, I will indeed say the Philippines is a very Christian country. A lot of folks, as an American, a lot of folks point to America, Europeans, for example, point to America as being a quote unquote very Christian nation or Judeo-Christian.
I don't think of America as being a Christian nation at all, unless you count like that wacky Pentecostal fucking evangelical shit. But I don't really even consider that genuine Christianity. Those people are fucking weird, man. But yeah, the Philippines are like proper Catholic. They even do those little parades where like they carry the cross and they self-flagellate and stuff as they walk along. So you see these guys just like giving themselves the wounds of Christ, like whipping their own backs. That's some dedication, mate. Like,
nation. I would say by comparison, we all fall short of the Philippines. The Philippines probably falls short only of the Vatican City when it comes to observance. And I just noticed that during, for example, Easter week, and how serious Easter week was taken, where nothing was really open. It was very, going really anywhere on that weekend was almost a no-go, whereas in the United States, then pretty much everything is open. You might find one place closed on Easter Sunday, a couple places, but by and large, America is open during Easter, not in the Philippines. And to me,
even us Australian heathens have the respect to close all our shit. How rude. Even Coles and Woolies close early on a public holiday. That's just rude.
And this is just something that this is my personal opinion, that appears to be the strategy of his attorney, right? And obviously an attorney would want to appeal to anything you can appeal to, and that's something you certainly could appeal to, which is the moral sentiment of a nation saying, okay, think about this way, right? But once again, that's not the only.
Yeah, I think people are a lot more, even dare I say, religious and ceremonial about Anzac Day for sure. Like, I know people that are just assholes that don't give a fuck about anything, but they're like, I'm getting up to go to the dawn service and I'm gonna wear my granddad's medals and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, really? I did not expect that from you. But I mean, good for you. At least you're getting out of bed before 9 a.m. for the first time in a long time. Good for you.
I think the only factor that would chime in here. And I will also say that, frankly, the individual morality does not necessarily echo in what legal sentencing should be. But that going on, Vitali is attempting to petition for bail. Bail is not a right for foreigners. Now, bail is enshrined in the Constitution for Filipinos, but it's not a right for.
Oh, their constitution only applies to them. I mean, it's good, but you got to take into account how they then can drink and gamble at 7 a.m. and be patriotic. Yeah, I love it how on our most like solemn, somber day, we're all at the pub just playing 2-Up, getting fucking wasted. But I mean, I feel like it's what the diggers would have wanted. As they were storming the beaches of Gallipoli, they were saying, in 2025, I just want the Australians of the future to be able to gamble and get wasted. I honestly think it's what they would have wanted. I'm not even being sarcastic. I think they would be proud. I mean, the reason why we play 2-Up is because they used to play 2-Up in the trenches, so.
For foreigners, and there's a very good reason for that, and I'm going to read you and thank you to Angel Chase for sending this over to me. This is a section on bail from the Philippines, which is factors in granting or denying bail. So the judge considers the following when looking at bail: the nature of the deportation charge, the immigration status of the foreigner, the physical condition and age of the foreigner, humanitarian considerations, and such other considerations that will guide the commissioner in determining whether the foreigner is a flight risk, underlying flight risk, and or a threat to the public interest. Well, I think Vitali is trying to focus on his physical condition and his humanitarian consideration. So he's trying to say, I am, I'm changed, the kind of moral side of it there. And also I'm in such a bad mental condition. I'm breaking down. I have mental health issues. But the problem is a lot of these things are against him. First of all, he is not elderly. He is a person who styles himself as a healthy male. A healthy adult male is the prime candidate for staying behind bars. That's the prime category of a normal age.
Yeah, detention isn't supposed to be a holiday camp. It is supposed to be hard mentally. It's supposed to give you time to reflect on your actions. And hopefully you say, I don't want to end up here again. Maybe next time I won't be such an F-wit. I think that's probably the takeaway here. Although, what do you reckon the food's like in Filipino jail? Because the Philippines have some very, very good grub. I must say, some of their food is quite delicious.
Adult male behind bars. That's kind of what the general expectation is. The immigration status, obviously, he does not have a business there, a wife there. He doesn't have some sort of support network. So there's nothing that's going to benefit that I would see to benefit that. Obviously, he's already been branded or is being branded a undesirable alien. So the nature of the deportation, well, this is a big thing for him because nobody will take him. So the question is, like, they wouldn't even know where to send him if he went off and what's going on. So I don't think that helps him. But the last one, flight risk, I think is the biggest step against Vitali because he has funds. He has money. Vitali is not broke. Vitali does have money. And if they do let him out from behind bars, it is highly likely that Vitali will try some method to escape the Philippines, some method to get out of there and to escape any sort.
Oh no, do you think he'll try and hop on a boat and come to Australia? Please don't. I can imagine him hopping on a boat and trying to get all the way over here. Please don't. Please don't.
Punishment. He absolutely 100% has the resources to attempt to do that. There are very many high-profile cases of people that have done that lately. There's, in fact, very good cases that have been recently where people have fled the country.
Was he banned from Australia? I don't know much about him other than the Philippine stuff. I only really follow Johnny Somali and stuff. I don't have that much time to follow internet drama, so I just kind of get the highlights, and then if I think something's interesting, I'll or a bit salacious, I might get a bit more what's going on and do a little bit of extra research. But for the most part, I wouldn't be surprised if he was banned from Australia. We ban people sometimes when they just apply for a visa. We're like, no, get fucked.
It's a Chinese national that did that on some very serious charges. That's a whole other story. But I think that is the factor. If I was the judge, that I would look at and saying, hey, he is really motivated to get out of there. And he is someone that has the means to do it and all the incentive to do it. And as soon as he does that, he can turn around and brag about escaping from the Philippines. He can turn around and rub it in their face, just like the other nuisance streamers, just like the Johnny Somalis of the world that get away, and as soon as they get out of the country, they turn around and they mock the people of that country. I absolutely think he should not be granted bail. But what do you think in the comments below? Let me know, and I'll catch you on the.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Yeah, I reckon it would be really easy just to give like a boat captain a big wad of cash and then like just essentially island hop until you get somewhere with an airport that you can get an international flight from, or get a domestic flight to an international airport, and then off you go. Like, I think like an archipelago would be one of the easiest places to escape from. Just island hop. Or he could even try swimming if he's desperate enough. I don't know. What's he like at swimming? He could give it a go. See what happens. Boop, boop, boop.
Good evening, accused killer Aaron.
No, I want to do that next. Be quiet. Channel 7. Not interested in what you have to say right now. iDubbbz's life is falling apart. Poor iDubbbz. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for him. He's kind of just burning his whole life down for no reason.
YouTuber Donut Operator has exposed iDubbbz for being a horrible friend. iDubbbz responds, Anissa responds trying to expose him. Hassan continues getting called out on mainstream media after the recent terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado. Ethan is back on Instagram going after everybody. Asmongold has also reached 100k viewers on his multi-stream. Hassan is somewhere crying real tears. Anyways, subscribe for 100 years of good luck, and let's begin with Donut Operator exposing iDubbbz. Apparently he made a joke about OnlyFans, and iDubbbz got so offended that he cut off his friendship with him. Donut Operator reveals ridiculous reason why iDubbbz stopped being friends with him, says that they haven't spoken in 5 years because of it.
So
There's a great channel called Food History. Oh, is that with what's his name? The little guy whose husband collects Pokemons, and there's always Pokemon in the background of the video. Tasting History, I think. I can't think of the guy's name, but I know the show. I've watched a few episodes of it. Yeah, I think he did one on Anzac Bickies, I think. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I went, not last time I was in Turkey, but probably, I don't know how long ago, really. I'm just tired. But one of the times I was in Turkey, I went to like the memorial at like Gallipoli, the cove, the little cove, and I looked at all the New Zealand and Australian names. I just walked straight past the Poms because really, sorry, not sorry. And yeah, it's yeah, the Turkish put a lot of money into it, so it's really, really nice. And yeah, they're really friendly, and when you go to all the restaurants around there, they're like, oh, you're Australian, and they're super friendly. And I grew up in like a very Turkish area of Sydney, so I don't know, I kind of feel like if, you know, I had to do a runner with like, you know, I had enough money and I like needed to go somewhere, I feel like I could hide out in Turkey. I feel like I could. Yeah.
He went to a range day with me one time. Like, we used to talk a lot about content creation and stuff. And COVID rolls around, I get bored at home, so I make an OnlyFans where I'm showing my meat.
Really?
And so, well, basically, I'm taking a steak and I'm rating a steak. And like,
see, that's the reaction that you're supposed to have.
Genius.
I thought it was funny. So I'd be wearing like just an apron. Of course, I'm wearing like boxers.
If you didn't hear what he just said, he said he sent iDubbbz a joke that he made during COVID saying, oh, I started an OnlyFans to show people my meat, but it was him reviewing steaks. And then iDubbbz thought it was some type of attack against Anissa, so he got all upset, but he was just making it because he thought he was funny. I remember that was like a joke that was going around during COVID when OnlyFans started really like becoming well known amongst like the average person. I guess once it was in the cultural zeitgeist, like I saw one girl, she was like, subscribe to my OnlyFans, here's a preview, and it was like a picture of a ceiling fan, a picture of like a Japanese fan, a picture of like a little hand fan, like it was all these pictures of fans. Like everybody was doing the OnlyFans sort of puns and stuff, if you will. Like, yeah, I'll show my meat on my OnlyFans was like a pretty just normal thing that everybody was doing then. But obviously iDubbbz does have a chip on his shoulder about his girlfriend. If he was 100% confident with her doing OnlyFans, he would have just laughed. Like, the likelihood that your mate is somebody that you're friends with is sending you something to mock you is pretty low. Like, that's just you having a chip on your shoulder.
Underneath, I'd reach out and be like, this is my OnlyFans. And this is an A5 Wagyu from down the street. And I would talk about it. And I sent it to
steak
Ian,
is so
and
expensive. I want
and,
steak.
Said I was making fun of Anissa, and like I wasn't. I just thought it was a funny bit because I was sitting at home during COVID. And
You'll never understand what it's like to be an ally.
We wanted to use Premiere to create a prose-based visual montage, like
yeah, it was. He like said stuff like that, and yeah. Just like haven't talked to him since. That was like 5 years ago.
Over that?
Yeah, and I've like texted him and tried to reconnect with him. He just won't talk to me anymore.
Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I knew iDubbbz was pathetic. In fact, I've documented it quite
See? He's sad that he lost the friendship. He was just trying to riff with you, iDubbbz. He was just trying to express his male affection for you, and that's the only thing men know how to do is pay you out. Sometimes I know guys that will just insult the chicks that they like, and then they'll ask me like, oh, I don't know why she doesn't like me, like how can I make it more clear? And I'm like, mate, she thinks you hate her, she thinks you're a massive dickhead, she told me what a massive dickhead you are. And I'm like, it's fine for you to like say stuff to me because I know you're a fuckwit and I know you're joking, but she doesn't know you well enough to know, like you don't know her well enough to do that. But when you have a rapport with somebody and you're friends and you're close, like, yeah, men are massive dickheads. Like, my love language is definitely paying people out, but I make sure that the people that I am like that with, like, they're not, you know, I'm not going to do it to somebody that's a massive sook and really sensitive. But like, one of my friends couldn't believe the way that me and my brothers talk to each other. But me and my brothers are really, really, really close. And she was like, I would cry if my brother said that to me. And I was like, oh, like, really? It's just a normal day. It's a normal day for me.
extensively, but this is a whole new level of patheticness. He cut off a good friendship because Donut Operator made a joke about OnlyFans, and he even said that it wasn't particularly about Anissa, it was just his own separate sort of joke. I don't know.
Do you think Anissa knows any of the bands that she wears? I don't think she does. I would put money on the fact that she doesn't, because she used to be like a massive like teeny bopper booby streamy girl, and now she's all like, oh, I'm covered in tattoos and I live in Seattle. Like, okay, love. We should pay Eddie Vedder or somebody to like come up to her and see if she recognizes him.
know why he would think that it was about Anissa specifically. He's probably really insecure about it. And we kind of know this because back then when Anissa launched her OnlyFans, he was kind of losing his mind, arguing with his audience about how it's perfectly okay and nobody should care, nobody should make fun of him, even though it's a very easy thing to make fun of, especially considering it was polar opposite to his values at the time. And the reason I'm more
Yeah, I saw a video where this really pretty Russian girl, she was talking about all like the t-shirts and stuff she wants to buy, and she's like, oh, I really like this metal brand, what's it called, Metallica. It was a Metallica shirt. She thought it was a brand, and I was like, God bless you, love. But I think it's fine. Like, I think it's fine if, you know, people that don't know the music wear the shirts, but it's like when you're a total poser and you pretend that you do. Like, I was watching this video of some asshole who's, I don't know, probably in his early 50s, and he walks up to this girl wearing a Smashing Pumpkin shirt, and he asks her to name 5 songs, and she's like, huh? And he's like, you're wearing like a Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness shirt. And she was like, oh, I saw this shirt and it was really pretty. And like, I think that's fine, because I don't think Billy Corgan gives a fuck that he's selling his licensed merch and making money from people that don't know his music. I think he's probably fine with that. And maybe one day she might listen to the music. But yeah, I think that's really, really mean, because, yeah, I mean, maybe they don't have cool parents. Maybe they don't have like cool siblings to get them into cool music. Like, that happens. Like, if I just grew up listening to shit on the radio, I'd probably have really shit tasting music too. So I don't know. I don't like to pay out the kids when I see them walking around with like Kurt Cobain on their shirt or whatever. That's fine. Like, but yeah, somebody like Anissa, I've just seen her change her personality like 9 times in the time she's been in the spotlight, and it's just girls that don't, or not just women, but people in general that don't have a strong sense of self and will just kind of latch on to anything and will say and do anything to sort of social climb and monkey branch. It's like, I don't know. It's, I think you really have to watch out for those people. In my experience, they'll usually take what they can from you and then stab you in the back. I really hope, like, if she does end up maybe getting like a hot bread tuber guy to be interested in her, that she Anissa is iDubbbz's wife. This chick, can we go back? Where is she? I swear I just saw her. This girl wearing the Strokes t-shirt. She used to be like a booby streamer or a titty streamer or whatever they're called. She didn't have any tattoos. She didn't wear band shirts. She had like very normal, well-kempt, you know, just like if she lived in Australia, she would shop at Supre. Do you know the kind of girl that I mean? And then when I guess the alt thing sort of had a resurgence, a revival, and then she's doing OnlyFans. She's got tattoos. She used to say really horrible things about other women too, but apparently she's gone to therapy for an internalized misogyny. But she used to say the most horrific things about other women, call them sluts, this, that, and the other. And then she's just started doing OnlyFans out of nowhere. Yeah, she just starts doing OnlyFans out of nowhere, and then she just starts picking, you know, tattoo patterns off the wall and getting them tattooed all over, and now she's just covered in tattoos, like covered from head to toe. But you know what I mean? Like, she went from being like the type of girl that would shop at Supre and go to raves with her friends to being covered in tattoos and wearing band shirts. It just seems very yeah, it just doesn't seem very authentic to me. But yeah, I don't have a problem with girls doing OnlyFans as long as they really understand the repercussions of it and they understand that, like, could potentially hurt them in the future. But if they want to, if they, you know, while they're young and hot and everything's perky, like, go for gold, love. But I just think the risk of it affecting your potential career prospects is so high. You have to be really, really careful with what you put on the internet. Like, I'm not on any social media. I wouldn't do it because I don't want something that I said or did, or I'm drunk in a photo, like licking one of my friends or something, and someone pulls it up during a job interview and you're like, I had too many shots. I don't know.
Even said that it wasn't particularly about Anissa, it was just his own separate sort of joke. I don't know why he would think that it was about Anissa specifically. He's probably really insecure about it, and we kind of know this because back then when Anissa launched her OnlyFans, he was kind of losing his mind, arguing with his audience about how it's perfectly okay and nobody should care, nobody should make fun of him, even though it's a very easy thing to make fun of, especially considering it was polar opposite to his values at the time. And the reason I'm more confused is that basically everybody was poking fun at it. I remember even PewDiePie.
Yeah, but it's so expensive to commence civil action against somebody. And you can only really do like the no win, no fee with like people that are 100% sure they've got a slam dunk against. And it's like, well, if I don't know, I guess you only have to prove like balance of probabilities in the civil suit, but I don't know. If you don't have money, you can't really go around suing people typically. Unless you go with like Slater and Gordon and stuff. Yeah. It's really like, my dad always used to say that like, you get the justice that you can afford. And that's so true because every pop person that I know just gets like walked all over. You're in a civil suit currently? Oh, good luck. Yeah, I've gotten victims of crime compensation before for something in New South Wales, but even that was fucking grueling. I know it's a lot more streamlined now than it was when I went through it, but bloody hell, yeah, that stuff's not great.
Made a video about it, just poking fun at him, calling him a simp. And if you remember, PewDiePie was also friends with iDubbbz. I feel like if you were actually okay with your girlfriend having an OnlyFans, you would probably not be arguing with people about it, you wouldn't care what other people think, and you definitely wouldn't cut off friendships over this. And hypothetically, even if it was about Anissa, it's a joke, man. Who cares? Laugh it off and move on. Do you actually just hang around people who suck you off 24/7 and make no jokes? That sounds like a completely miserable experience. Like, even in my like high school friend group, we constantly make fun of each other because we all know that it's not that serious, it's not that deep, right? And everybody pretty much enjoys it. Anissa's husband really let himself go. Ian is definitely insecure about Anissa having an OnlyFans with that kind of reaction. Honestly speaking, sounds hilarious and something like iDubbbz would have done back in the day. iDubbbz is a lost cause at this point. He's become what he originally hated. Yeah, I don't think there's any saving this guy. I've been with my wife for 25 solid years, but I've never been as much of a pussy whip little bleh as iDubbbz. Ian is such a miserable, self-absorbed pussy. Holy shit, he was actually traumatized by being mildly bullied on the internet. His empathy is unironically just for himself, and he projects out as this I don't know how to say that, woke performative garbage. He's gonna have an...
Gosh, even I know that, and I did not learn French. No, I did not, but I still know the word faux. Wow, I feel smarter than this guy on YouTube. Good for me.
Internal reckoning one of these days, and I bet Anissa accuses him of abuse within the next few years. Also, absolute covert narcissist behavior. Anyways,
Rubadub Dan, you might appreciate this. It's a very Sydney joke. Our Melbourne boy will not get it. But I had to meet one of my little brother's friends in Surrey Hills because I was lending him some money because he lost his wallet, and this was like before smartphones. So, well, not before smartphones, but I don't remember. And I told him to meet me on Favreau Street, and he was like running around trying to find Favreau Street, And then I finally was like, look, I'll meet you on Elizabeth Street, like where the RTA is. So I came and I walked down. I was waiting for him on Elizabeth Street. And I was like, yeah, this is the corner of Favreau Street. And he's like, oh, I thought that said Fox Street. And I was like, no, it's Favreau. Okay. I'm like, I'm sorry. Next time I will say things phonetically. I'm very sorry. Anyway, that was funny. It was really, really cute. Because, yeah, I think it was like, he hadn't been to like the CBD many times. So, yeah, that was funny. It was very cute.
Responded, conveniently leaving out that your girlfriend at the time was pursuing OnlyFans, but you're too pussy to deal with the criticism, so you made a parody account. No, I don't want to be friends with a coward. Wait, what? I'm actually confused. Like, what does this even mean? How do you pursue OnlyFans? You either do it or you don't, right? Like, you either set up the account and you post pictures or you don't. What does he mean by pursuing it? Like a fucking college degree or something? Also, how is he a coward for making a joke? He's literally just poking fun at a situation. Okay, people have the same response. It makes no sense. Tons of people were making fake pages on there as a joke at the time. Ian is just too sensitive. Not everything's about Anissa. Ian is brain broken. No. He's a little genuine in his actions, guys. But a little brain broken, of course.
I think this is just a one dude who is genuine in his actions and maybe, you know, a little bit brain broken.
Ian's argument doesn't even make sense. Even if Donut's lady was doing OnlyFans, Donut said he was gonna do it to have fun with the idea anyway. It was Ian that got offended by him doing it, not the other way around. I don't understand Ian's angle here. How dare people frame me as an a-hole? I'm gonna treat them like an a-hole about it. Okay, great. That'll show them. Oh my god, of course Denims is here. She says, the insecurity is crazy. Don't you have to go suck on a South Parker's pee-pee or something? How's the lawsuit coming along? Oh yeah, the one that you GoFundMe'd? Dude, honestly, Denims might be the stupidest person on earth. If we had like a competition, she might actually be #1. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Denims have an OnlyFans too? Like, so of course you're talking about insecurity. That's probably your response to every guy that rejects you. Like, you're just too insecure to handle me. Or maybe people don't want to deal with the grape denying, CPS endorsing e-ho. I support women, guys, except if they're from Israel. Then I need forensic evidence. Her and Hassan are actually professional forensic analysts, actually. Anyways, Anissa responded. Anissa joins her husband in calling out Donut Operator after he exposed the reason Idub stopped talking to him. Claimed she had a bad experience with Donut, took her and Ian to a gun show. Alright, so here's a response. He also took us to a gun show where a child accidentally fired a gun that was loaded on a sales table into a crowd, and everyone nonchalantly said ND in unison like it wasn't a big deal. This sounds like some made-up story, bro. What? First reply, boo-hoo pussy. He brought us to a place something that had nothing to do with him happened, and other people said something. Very cool, Anissa. Thanks for sharing this anecdote with the class, Anissa. This was a very valuable contribution to discourse. Let me guess, and then everyone collapsed. Anyways, another gun YouTuber, Brandon Herrera, responded. He was the guy in the podcast as well. Ha, I was gonna set the record straight, but turns out she
Oh, that Brandon Herrera guy, he has beef with the I Did a Thing guy because they did a video together where they were attaching like a automatic weapon onto like a robot dog to see what would happen. And then, I don't know, his other channel that he does with his little friend, what's it called? Boy. Yeah, I remember that channel name because it sounds like a different kind of website. But yeah, they made a video where they sort of made it look like he had targets of little children that he used as practice. Like they did like deceptive editing, and this Brandon Herrera guy got so upset because he was like, I took these guys onto my ranch and I like helped them make their video, and they were shooting guns with me all day and they were having this like really good time. And then they went and made this video where like they essentially made me seem like a lunatic, and that like I'm okay with like school shootings. And yeah, it was yeah, it was something.
Preemptively blocked me. What she's calling a gun show was a live firing range. Conveniently left that out for no particular reason, I'm sure. I mean, is anybody surprised that Anissa would lie and make up a...
I met a girl from St. Mary's who was in Melbourne for who who was in Melbourne when the grand final in 2019 where GWS was playing. So she was at the GWS supporting pub and she was like, oh, I live in St. Mary's. And I was like, oh, I love St. Mary's. The gun range, the methadone clinic, and she just started laughing. See, people from Western Sydney can take a joke. But yeah, that's what I always think about. Oh, and there's like a Scottish butcher there as well, because one of my friends is Scottish and she always gets haggis from there. True story. But yeah, see, chick from St. Mary's thought it was funny when I said, yeah, St. Mary's is awesome, methadone clinic and gun range.
A story for attention at this point. She has absolutely lost her marbles. It wasn't enough to completely emasculate and humiliate iDubbbz all this time. Wasn't enough to completely ruin his life and tank his career. She has to keep constantly humiliating him and embarrassing him, revealing that he shits himself, the whole pegging tweet. She just has to keep sticking in the knife. Make sure that every little bit of happiness is vacuumed out of him like the soul-sucking dementor she actually is. Dear Lord, I hope that none of you ever have to encounter a person like Anissa, bro. She is like the worst thing that could ever happen to someone you know. Anyways, I couldn't help but notice her bio says married to a YouTuber and then got a bunch of flags.
Wait, is her Twitter handle Anissa the Greasy? What's Greasy Anissa? I'm kind of curious, but also kind of scared. Why is she greasy? Is it her hair? She needs to wash her hair, or is it something else that I dare not ponder? I'm worried. I'm scared.
I mean, I don't know if he qualifies as a YouTuber anymore. I feel like the life has been sucked out of him, so it's like, I don't know if he can even come back to a career now. Everybody kind of hates his guts as well as Content Cup.
But she's 8% Lebanese, not yeah, apparently she said that she's only 8% Lebanese, so I don't know why now it's her entire identity and apparently makes her Palestinian. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I mean, maybe her Tabuli's greasy. Shout out to the Lebanese community. Top people. Sometimes people think I'm Lebanese, but it's like, no, I just hang out with them all the time. This big, yeah. Mostly I hung out with mostly like Lebanese people when I was growing up and some Turks and a lot of Asians as well, but yeah, mainly I think the Lebanese influence is the strongest on my personality for sure. I love Lebanese people.
Completely failed. Everybody is turning on him. I think it's time to put the fries in the bag.
Welcome back to this U.S. Open office plan.
Miller just lobbed a message way over Jones's head using some technical jargon.
People are responding, yeah, no gun show has ammo. No one who invests that much in firearms is going to risk losing it all because of one round and one gun. She legitimately doesn't know the difference. Brandon, you gotta remember these people aren't just disingenuous, they're also regards. I don't think she knows the difference between the two, and even if she did, she would lie about it, lol. Anyways, turns out Ethan also posted a clip of Anissa admitting that she's having a crash out.
I'm like this. You can actually tell when I'm having a terrible...
Oh, so... Rub-a-dub Dan, this is what she used to look like. I don't know, like, I would say maybe like 2013 to 2020. I would say that time frame. So, you know, she had the low-cut top with the push-up bra, no tattoos, like very well-kempt, like very straight hair, normal makeup. Just, you know, just a normal-looking chick. Just... yeah, just a normal girl, nothing really to say.
Day, because I will not shut up on Twitter. I will not shut up. I will tweet the stupidest shit. That's how you can tell I'm having a bad...
I mean, we all knew this. No sane person spends all their day tweeting online, losing their mind, melting down regularly. This is a sign you're not okay, you're having a crash out, a sign of underlying mental instability. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was something off up there, so to speak. And because I'm an empathetic person like Mr. iDubbbz, I'll say I hope she can get the help she needs, you know? Anyways, moving on to Hassan getting called out on mainstream media again. Last time it was on CNN, and now we're on the completely opposite side on Fox News, and they both seem to agree that Hassan needs to be stopped. Now, this is in light of the recent horrific terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado. If you missed the last episode, basically this unhinged lunatic went around throwing Molotov cocktails, lighting people on fire while shouting Free Palestine. Jonathan Greenblatt of the ADL is not letting up.
Be right back, guys. I tried to play an ad while I went away because I got affiliate today and I just want to see how it works. But it started a countdown for the ad. Like I said, the ad will start in 7 minutes. So if a random ad starts in 7 minutes, I'm really sorry. I just was trying to see how it works.
Up on calling out Hassan.
So I applaud DOJ for taking a tough stance. And what I really want is whether it's social media influencers on Twitch and YouTube like Hassan Piker or other kind of promoters of hate on YouTube and TikTok like Guy Christian.
There should be bits and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. Like there should be like subs and bits and yada yada yada, and I can run ads, and I had to give my TFN and like my payment information, so I'm not really sure how that works. I'm not really sure it's going to be relevant for me for a while, but apparently I have pretty good viewership for somebody that's been doing Twitch for 3 weeks, so pretty happy. And yeah, I'll just keep on doing it because it's fun anyway, and if I get a viewership and I'm pretty sure it got approved. But yeah, maybe they do need to get somebody to take a look at it. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how it works. I tried to read like the overview that they provided when they sent me like the yay, congratulations, you're an affiliate or whatever, but yeah, I just filled in the form. So yeah, maybe there is an approval process. I don't really know.
Christensen, or like, you know, these speakers at these graduations. It just happened the other day at MIT, spreading blood libels about the Jewish people or the Jewish state. It creates the conditions in which this kind of act is happening with increasing frequency. We've got to stop it once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, this situation just keeps escalating. It's crazy that people like Hassan are allowed to just go online spouting complete lies and slander and just radicalizing people more and more every day. And then people act shocked when these things happen, when honestly, I'm not surprised. When you praise terrorists and your entire community is sat there dropping love hearts for a shooter, then it's just no surprise people go out and do shit like this. And that's kind of why this series is so important. We are amplifying the message that this type of shit is not.
What does everybody reckon? Does anybody, what are your guesses on what's going to happen to Hassan if he keeps on sort of treading the very fine line? I'm honestly surprised that he hasn't had repercussions for his speech, because it's one thing to like be pro-Palestinian and all of that. That's, you know, that's fine, that's great, that's free speech, but extremism is a horseshoe. Oh yeah, this is like how both the left and the right have come to like the anti-Jewish, anti-Israeli rhetoric, but for opposite reasons. It was really just proof that the horseshoe theory is real. Like, go far enough right, far enough left, you basically meet in the middle. Because obviously, like, the right-wing people have like their anti-Jewish rhetoric for a reason, and then the left now has anti-Jewish rhetoric for, you know, pro-Palestinian reasons. So they've essentially come to the same conclusions, just for very different reasons. It's very bizarre to watch.
Okay, you cannot be advocating for violence online. And just to be clear, you know, you are allowed to voice your opinions for deferring politics or any side of the conflict you see fit, right? You can hate Israel, you can hate whatever, you can not like what they're doing, whatever. Just don't commit violence and don't support terrorists. Is that like the hardest shit to do for these people? Jesus Christ. Somebody needs to make like a banger edit of Hassan try not to support terrorist challenge 100% impossible, and it's just like him vigorously sweating bullets. Moving on to Asmongold talking about the terror attack and the complete hypocrisy of it all. Bit of a longer clip here, just bear with me.
They will be, the Free Palestine people will be forever lumped in with these actual terrorists because they refuse to condemn them. If you don't stop and cull your extremists, you will be defined by them. And that's what's happening to them right now, is that they are becoming defined by these extremists.
Left, 2 Jews dead in the last 10 days, and now again, a Jew, a Holocaust survivor, is burned alive on American soil. This is just not America.
These are the people who are fighting against Nazis, by the way. These are the people calling you a Nazi. They're lighting Holocaust survivors on fire. I know. Couldn't have predicted that one, huh?
What's so disturbing about this is they were protesting. This group is called Run for Their Lives, because that's what the hostages were trying to do. And they meet weekly to have these marches. They run and they walk. If I wanted to go to one of these marches, I might think twice now, because
Hassan did like condemn these latest spate of attacks in is kind of the strongest way that he could, without, you know, having his audience go ballistic at him. But I don't think it was because he genuinely believes that. I think it's because he knows that the ADL is looking at him, and probably the feds, and yeah, I saw that he said that he got banned for 2 weeks for saying that, what did he say, that Muslim culture was inferior or something like that. I believe it was something to that effect. Yeah, he just said that they had yeah, I think he said Palestinian culture was inferior, but it was, yeah, it was meant like as an like Islamophobic sort of thinking. I don't remember. I'll have to look up the exact quote actually. I think it was something along those lines.
I'm worried about copycats.
Well, that's exactly right, and that aims.
Well, that's the goal of terrorism. That's why he did it. Is they're trying to keep people that do it to scare people from doing it. I think that a lot of thought leaders inside of the pro-Palestine.
I agree, Rubber Dub Dan. It is a problem with our society that we give a bunch of randos a huge platform. If they're going to give any rando a huge platform, I think it should be me. I think I would be a benevolent Twitch streamer that ruled with a giant heart and a velvet fist. I think it should be me. I vote for me. I would see Asmongold doesn't even renovate his house. I would make sure I had the prettiest house to do like live streams and stuff from. I'll be like, hey, let's all have a look at my beautiful Japanese garden with a koi pond. And I would be like, oh, here's the panda I got from Xi Jinping for shilling for China. Yes, he is big and beautiful, and you can come and pat him too. See, I would use my power wisely. This is why I deserve to get all the views.
Movement are afraid of calling out these bad actors because they don't want backlash from their extreme like audience, right? Part of their audience. Like they don't want to anger the 20% of people that are actually in favor of militancy. And so they just kind of, are yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Like, yeah, this is about it, right?
Yeah, but so many people make so much money giving their takes on things. People just want to hear creators that they like. Like, oh, my favorite WoW streamer is talking about geopolitics. Wow. And people are like, let me sit down and have a listen. I mean, if I was pulling in the kind of money Asmongold was, I would just be on my computer just yabbing all day. Imagine just not having to have a real job ever and just sitting in front of your mic, playing games and talking shit all day and just raking in the cash. It's amazing. I'm jealous of his lifestyle. He still can't buy soap. Yeah, well, I don't know. He might be superhuman by this point because he seems to have like resistance to all types of microbes and bacteria and everything because he's clearly got them all over him if he doesn't use soap.
And so, like, because, yeah, they don't want to say that and alienate part of their audience.
Yeah, I wonder who he's talking about there, guys. Nobody knows. Nobody actually knows. I definitely haven't made 30 videos on said person. Listen, I feel like it's time for people to take responsibility for the harm they've caused. And if they don't, I think it's time for, law enforcement to actually be somewhat competent, all right? Inciting violence is not okay. All this stuff needs to be prevented before it happens. You can't be, like, actively responding to this stuff after it happens because the damage is done at that point. You need to be looking at these people's social medias. Like, if they're on stream every day, if they're on Twitter every day advocating violence, then what the hell do you think they're gonna do? There's so many signs, especially regarding these crazy people. And if you want to keep the community safe, you gotta do what you gotta do, Now, anyway, speaking of Hassan, if you remember last episode, he got very mad at Ethan and Ela for saying the word Gazans. Well, it turns out he's a massive hypocrite. Someone from the HC subreddit spotted Hassan using the term Gazans and made an edit.
Crazy how Hassan just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh my god. Oh, they're so gross, dude. They're such disgusting.
I mean, there are Palestinians in the West Bank and there are Palestinians in Israel proper as well. So I'm sure she maybe, I don't know, just giving her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was talking about particularly the Palestinians who are in the Gaza Strip as opposed to the other Palestinians that are in the region.
Genocidal propagandists. Oh my god. Oh, she didn't even say Palestinians. She said Gazans. Yeah. Here, another great way to figure out Ahmed Al-Khatib being a bad faith actor is that he calls himself a Gazan American. He doesn't even call himself a Palestinian American. That designation does matter. Disgusting. I read showed that there was a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, that Gazans did not have access to clean water. Gazans disgusting. All fucking infrastructure that Gazans and Palestinians as a whole have. Disgusting. Is to die. And certainly the Gazan civilians to die as well. Disgusting.
No way. Hassan grandstanding over something he himself does? Impossible. It's over. My entire worldview is shattered. I thought Hassan was the Lord and Savior himself. Hassan being a massive hypocrite. In other news, water is wet, the sky is blue, and Denims is brain dead. We already know these things. Anyways, moving on to Ethan on Instagram. He dropped an Instagram story about the terror attack. Here we got the headline. Suspect used a flamethrower and yelled Free Palestine in Colorado attack. Man reportedly set people on fire in an anti-Semitic attack. Ethan responds, can't wait to see people defending setting children and elderly people on fire. By the way, these people were walking to show solidarity with the hostages. Completely humane and harmless, folks. Instant reply, Hassan will be the #1 defender. There absolutely will be people who justify this. Those who are radicalized or incompetent will live in absolutes and excuse all actions for fear of demonizing their own belief systems. I mean, we'll see what kind of response he has.
Oh, Rubber-Dub Dan, you said you were at University of Sydney really recently studying, right? What were the pro-Palestinian student demonstrations like there? Just out of curiosity.
As if he even addresses this in the first place, but I'll take him completely dodging it over him, you know, saying it was a false flag or a setup or some bullshit like he did last time. Ethan continues dropping more Instagram stories at Hassan. So Hassan won't go to Gaza over security clearances. Meanwhile, Greta Thunberg jumps on a ship to help block the aid blockade. Have some conviction. Say what you want about Greta, but this is what true grit looks like. It's so obvious that Hassan is only in it to enrich himself. I feel sorry for all the fools that fall for it. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. So this is in reference to the Hassan clip where he told his friends that he would be going to Gaza, right? And then he completely walked back on it on his stream saying that it's too dangerous. I don't have security, clearance or whatever. Meanwhile, the guy he hates so much, Destiny, also went there. We got Greta going there. Basically everybody but Hassan is not a pussy. And it's just rich coming from someone who says they do on the ground journalism.
Dude, I might actually.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I think there were very similar scenes at Melbourne University. Yeah, I don't think it's I was going to say it's probably unprecedented, but I don't think it is because there was similar stuff when the Vietnam War and everything was going on as well. But yeah, I don't know. I just asked because I think Hassan went to the Sydney Uni demonstrations, right? He was hanging out with the guys from the I Did a Thing guys. I think they're Alex and Alexi. He was hanging out with them, running around, you know, George Street and Broadway and Parramatta Road, and they made their way up to, I don't know, there's some new buildings there actually at Sydney Uni, because I haven't been, when was the last time I went? Probably 2014 is probably the last time I've seen the campus, honestly. Yeah, I saw that they were saying that some Sydney Uni research and stuff is used for like weapons systems in Israel. Like Israel uses and apparently gets parts and stuff that are developed by Sydney Uni or Sydney Uni research. Yeah, because last time I was in Sydney was last November, and I did go to Broadway Shopping Centre, and I kind of like, because I used to drink at the Lansdowne when I was at Sydney Uni, and I went in there and I was like, obviously the prices weren't going to be the same as like, you know, 12 years ago or something, But I was so shocked. I fell over. I was like, oh God, I used to get like a steak and chips for like $10. It was so good. Not that I knew it would have gone up because of inflation, but I couldn't believe how much a beer and stuff cost at the Lansdowne. I was like, oh God. Your shit bar of choice was Buzz Century. That is a shit bar of choice. I will give you that one. It definitely is a very shit bar of choice.
Take Marsh with me to Gaza.
Gaza?
Yeah.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes. I unfortunately most likely will not be able to go.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes. The people that I did talk to said that they could not give me security assurances.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes. Have some conviction.
Imagine getting outgridded by Greta. She's out here sailing into actual danger zones while Hassan's still stuck buffering his revolution behind a $3,000 mic and a Twitch Prime show. Sorry, I couldn't go to Gaza yet. I didn't get my Activism Plus security badge unlocked yet. Cherry on top, following and engaging with an account that openly fantasizes about mass violence and then saying yup like it's just another hot take. Bro, that's not edgy, that's unhinged. If your version of activism involves yacht socialism, violent fanboy tweets, and guilt-tripping 12-year-olds for not donating, maybe you're not the voice of a generation. You're just another brand in a beret. We also got the H3 Snark simping over Anissa. Anissa tweets some beautiful selfies. It's time for your...
Yeah, I don't trust people that say that they're socialists and are from a rich background, because what radicalized you? Like, I was definitely very sympathetic to like Marxist ideas when, you know, I was in high school, or when I was like, you know, just out of high school, because I had to support myself. I qualified for like Centrelink straight out of high school because my dad had earned less than like $50,000 the previous financial year or whatever it was. But I still needed a job, and I still needed to, you know, take care of myself. I had to go find a room to rent in the city and do all that stuff. And yeah, life was really, really hard for me for, you know, a really long time until I was able to get like my first graduate social work job and started to have some money. Like, I really had trouble feeding and like housing myself, and my childhood wasn't much better. So like someone like me, I can understand it, or people like, you know, who have similar stories, I can understand. But somebody whose dad is an executive for a Fortune 500 company like Hassan, whose uncle, you know, manages his own news media platform, you don't believe any of the shit you're saying, mate, because you're not the proletariat. You are the bourgeoisie. If there is a revolution, if you think you're not on the lamppost, I need to be careful because of terms of service. But if you think you're not, you know, the bourgeoisie, I've got news for you. Because they were always like, oh, it's billionaires, not millionaires. And it's like, no, it's you. It's you. We don't differentiate between the upper middle class and the billionaire class. Like, you all seem very rich to us. Trust me, mate. Like, it's Hassan's definitely doing it for the money. Yeah, that's my point. Like, that's what I was trying to maybe poorly articulate.
Ethan keeps making fun of Ian for being a virgin before Anissa, but imagine getting picked by Anissa. That's a W. Like, I'm so jealous. She's beautiful and seems amazing overall. If anything, that means Ian was so attractive and such an awesome person that his experience level didn't matter at all. He was still able to get Anissa to pay attention to him. Of course, mentally ill Redditors are simping for Anissa. Also, people mainly hate Anissa for her character and the things she says. Nobody really cares about her appearance. And Ian is a loser who let a crazy woman change him. That's the main argument people are making, but they probably knew that. Now, we also have Hassan Moon number 7, the orbiting Sean. This guy is threatening to dox somebody. Kind of funny that you only get engagement whenever you mention him, Hassan, or H3. Ratio's kind of sad for being one of Hassan's orbiters. And then he responds, bro, you just posted your face today. I'd be stepping more carefully if I was you. Casual threats, you're freaking shameless, dude. A threat to post a face he just posted himself? Okay, lol. Yeah, that was definitely a doxing threat. Don't try to play dumb. Also, this is a guy who said on stream he wanted to kill another streamer. This is just a classic from the Hassan orbiting community, right? They will use any form of harassment, as we know from condoning the CPS calls on Ethan's kids. And it was moving on to Asmongold. We talked about him recently starting multi-streaming, and he's reached 100k viewers, which is pretty crazy. Hassan is furiously jacking off to this as we speak.
Multi-stream, we have over 100,000 viewers. It's like 110. This is the way it is. This is the way it's going to be. Things are going very well, and we're popping off. Everything's going great. That chat, yeah, we got a whole lot of people. An ass load of people. Oh my god.
Honestly, I encourage any streamers watching this to go ahead and try multi-streaming, because we don't want Twitch to have a monopoly. You know, you just kind of press one.
I am multi-streaming right now on YouTube and Kick. Just for anyone that was wondering, I decided that I would give it a go. Because, yeah, why not? Who knows?
One more button and you got a new audience, you know? Anyways, then Asmon talks about Twitch's response to him multi-streaming.
But what I will say is that Twitch has not, in any capacity, tried to dissuade me from multi-streaming. And every conversation that I've had with Twitch about using other platforms, they have been supportive of. And also, the people who are really going to kill Twitch is their moderation team. Not banning people that are, you know, advocating for violence and stuff like that. That's really what's going to make it happen. Twitch wants you gone? Well, no, I think that they like me a lot. I mean, I bring a lot of people to look at the web.
No, the chats aren't merged. I don't know how to merge the chats. I've got to work it out. I only just kind of looked at it like half an hour before I started streaming. So I didn't really have time to work, like, to see how it all works. But, yeah, I mean, I'll have a look after the stream and see if anyone actually watched. It will be interesting to see if, like, there's 0 viewers. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a fun little experiment either way, I guess.
Website, and yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about that one, because Twitch loves Hassan, right? So I don't think you can like Hassan and Asmongold at the same time. I feel like you'd really have to sever your brain for that. But anyways, I think Twitch is dumb. They should absolutely be concerned that people are multi-streaming, because that's the first step to leaving Twitch, getting comfortable somewhere else, right? This is like your partner sleeping with someone else 1 time, 2 times, and then 3 times. Like, it's only a matter of time before they're gone. Twitch is just pathetic and has no response. Anyways, click.
Sounds like you're speaking from personal experience there, little mushroom man. I'm sorry that your missus left you. Sounds very, very, very sad. Condolences to you, sir. What was this video? I don't remember. Asmongold was saying something, I think, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
But now, this was a fucking insane crash out, and assaulting law enforcement. Yes, finally getting charged. Thank God.
A Department of Justice charges New Jersey Congresswoman with assaulting law enforcement at an ICE facility. So that's like an immigration facility, right? The interim U.S. attorney in New Jersey said Representative LaMonica McIver, wow, that's a mouthful, is accused of assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement.
Yeah, prisons are private. Build one. Wait, you're right. That's a good idea. Yeah, wait, yeah, that's smart. Yeah, so we could call it Roach Ranch. Oh shit.
Now is being charged for assault, and even Congressman Nadler's staffer was seen being arrested for allegedly harboring someone. So I really wonder how long they'll gleefully display their defiance when their friends all start getting jail sentences, as it sounds scary that this administration would start throwing politicians in prison, but they brought it upon—
It's not scary. It's justified. If you break the law and you do something wrong and you're tried.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't want to be in a situation where politicians are being, you know, rounded up for dissent or anything like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's a slippery slope. I don't know. I kind of feel like politicians have like some type of diplomatic immunity, right? Aren't they essentially like protected persons under the law to some degree? I mean, obviously, if they're like committing murder or they're like a serial killer or something like that, probably not. But for the most part, I think they can get away with things that we can't. Or at least, at the very least, the cops are like, come on. They're kind of like the vice principal I had when I was in high school. He would never suspend me. He would only give me detention. And I always used to smoke in school uniform. And he would be like, political speech is a basic human right and you can't infringe on it. Yeah, but by the sound of what I heard, this lady was harboring fugitives, like illegal what would be the legal term in America? I think they call them illegal aliens, like people that are non-citizens that haven't gained legal. Sorry, you mean in the way of under the UN Charter? Yeah, well, I mean, I would have to really, really look into what's going on in this situation, but it's definitely, I would be scared to live in a country where politicians are being rounded up. It's, yeah, I would be, incredibly worried if I were living in those situations, for sure. But back to my story, my childhood story that's totally related. This is how I feel like cops are with politicians. I used to always smoke in school uniform, and everybody else that I knew that used to get in trouble, they would like get suspended, or like they would have their parents called, or like they would have some type of escalation. But my deputy principal really, really, really liked me. He just thought I was really funny, and we just got along really, really well. And whenever I would get in trouble for something, he would always think whatever I had done was really funny. And, you know, he couldn't help it. He just liked me. And he would always be like, Panda, come on. He's like, you can't keep on pushing it. He's like, I have to punish you at some stage. Like, I can't like keep on turning a blind eye. He's look, just take off your school jumper, just maybe wear a shirt underneath, you know, your school shirt, and, you know, just come on. Like, he's like, it's very, very obvious. We're getting phone calls about a girl smoking at the train station, wearing the school uniform, wearing knee-high boots and fishnets. Like, it's very, very, you're very, very easily identifiable. And I was like, okay, all right. But yeah, I feel like politicians should be able to get away with a bit more with the cops, right? I feel like, especially like if you're a diplomat or something in a foreign country, right? You've got diplomatic immunity. You're a protected person. Like, arresting a senator is like insane.
And convicted for it, then you should go to jail. It's that simple. It's wanted even, and I think this is a universal perspective. There's a lot of Democrats that felt that was unfair for Trump because they thought Trump should have gotten in more trouble for things that he did. And I think that there's a lot of Republicans and conservatives that feel like Democrats should have gotten in trouble for things that they did too, like for Hunter Biden, for example. And so this is something that everybody wants. I don't know why it doesn't happen. In all seriousness, do you really think that they should bring back prison labor? Yeah. Yeah, I do. If you can, I'm a big advocate for this. I think it's a great idea. So if you're putting these people in jail, why wouldn't you put them to work? Why not? If you can't, like, really, why? Like, I mean, do you see how problematic that is? Well, wait a minute. Let me read your message. What about it's problematic?
Yeah, well, Dan, the thing is, most people listen to his commentary and his opinions about things. So that's why I'm interested in hearing what he's saying, because he has apparently like 3 times the viewership of Hassan. So people that aren't listening to us, Hassan, are essentially listening to him. Yeah, well, I thought they already had like the prison industrial complex, right? Where like they are essentially very low paid laborers in the jails, right? That's why like they get as many people from a certain demographic in there as they can for like petty crimes, so they can get low paid labor. But yeah, I think it's really necessary to hear what everybody's saying about things, especially because a lot of young people are listening to Asmongold, and I think it's important we know what's being said and we can talk about it, and where we disagree, we can put that out into the zeitgeist as well. I mean, obviously not many people are listening to me now, but you never know. Like, you only need one clip or something to get a bit of traction, and off you go.
Yeah, I'm confused. Yeah, well, because to me it seems like it seems like everybody wins. It seems like a perfect solution. Force them to make Apple iPhones. Oh, China not gonna like that. Actually, I don't even think they make those in China anymore. Yeah, I don't know where the fuck they make them. Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Tate is just I used to try and watch his videos, and I just would get so mad that I would just step away. Because I know some guys that will like, you know, they say stuff like for shock value, or like just to, you know, just say the most shocking thing that they can to kind of get you to react. But none of them actually hate women, and none of them would actually ever hurt a woman. And it's just, yeah, it's just insane. It's just insane that people, young boys are listening to Andrew Tate. Apparently, it's like having repercussions in the classroom for like teachers that are teaching like, you know, around like year 7, year 8, that kind of age range. Apparently, like they have female teachers have a lot of trouble with students of that age because they're just like, we're not listening to you. You're a woman. You're a dumb bitch. Like, that's horrifying.
Counter argues that research El Salvador does it. Things are fine. No, I mean, there's a lot of ways I would look at it, but let me go back. I can find it. It incentivizes arrests. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think more people should be arrested for crimes. I mean, after you see all these people that are running wild and doing all kinds of crazy stuff that are in the public, yeah, that's the point. I think work programs are really good, but working at prison so they can make money is bad. Why? Why is it bad for the prison to make them work so they can pay for the prison? So you have to pay rent for your house. You have to pay a mortgage for your house. You have to pay rent for an apartment. You have to pay, you know, like a nightly fee if you're staying at a hotel. Why is it like, where is this where it doesn't make sense? Uninformed, but that's what I've heard. Well, no, I'm just, it's a slippery slope. I know that's the goal. Well, that's the goal, right? I mean, obviously that's the goal. Because that's how you get arrested for a small-time crime and get jacked up sentences so you make them more money. Well, you realize they're doing that already, right? And also, like, so the logic here is that if you can't make, like, these prisons already get money for prisoners to begin with. And also, I mean, should these people not be in jail? Like, obviously, yeah, there's
Some people are in jail for some pretty petty things, if you will. And there are some people that don't go to jail for some very, very, very big things. And it's like, you know, we all know that a certain demographic in American society is targeted to go to jail. We all know that it's typically young African American men that go to jail, and they already do use them for like, it's called the prison industrial complex, right? They already like, let's see what the definition is. They already use them to produce goods. What did I just say? The prison industrial complex refers to the interconnected system of actors who profit from incarceration. This includes businesses, politicians, and government agencies that benefit from prison construction, staffing, and operation. The term was coined after the military industrial complex to describe the similar relationship between institutions of imprisonment and businesses that profit from them. Businesses. This includes companies involved in prison construction, food service, medical care, security, politicians, government agencies. That wasn't exactly what I was talking about. But, yeah.
There's going to be people like, so you're saying that people that are wrongfully convicted or unfairly convicted are going to have to do something bad. There's people that are unfairly convicted right now in jail. This is already happening. Like, we're talking about hypotheticals. Yeah, how many people really is this happening with, right? I mean, like, sure, yeah, maybe this will happen to a handful of people, definitely. I mean, there's always going to be collateral damage. Like, anytime that you have a rule or anytime you have a law or anything like that, you're always going to have collateral damage. Like, there's going to be people that are unfairly affected by something, no matter what it is, right? You know, you raise the speed limit somewhere. You know, this probably might, you know, result in more accidents, but that does that mean you shouldn't raise the speed limit? You know, freedom of speech causes problems, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. Every law has people that get in trouble for it. Yeah, and I find that bad. I'm in a prison. That prison should be reformed, not animal penitentiary. I don't think that prison should be for reform or for punishment. I think prison should simply be a way to keep people out of public. Because really, the goal that I have, I don't think about what's in the best interest of the prisoners. That's kind of irrelevant to me. What matters to me is what's in the best interest of the population, of the society. And so if you think about what's in the best interest of the prisoners, that's nice. But when you thinking about their best interests causes the taxpayers and society to spend more money, to be less safe, I think that you are being completely unfair. And I think that you're doing something that's unethical and also immoral. Whenever you make innocent people pay and suffer more because of your perceived altruism or virtue, I don't consider this a good thing. I don't think it's a high-minded idea. I think it's dangerous. And it's actively dangerous, and you can see it being dangerous whenever you see these stories come out. When some guy's been arrested 7 times. Do you think most of the criminals will get released back into society? Yeah. Sorry for not making sense typing while I'm nervous. No, it's not a big deal. But yeah, no, I don't care whether it's for reform or punishment or anything, because the goal shouldn't be about them. Like that's like a
Yeah. Such a dumb argument, because if he wants to be like, what's the best interest, then why even have prisons? Why not just execute after trial? Well, yeah, if your worry is that like that's a burden on the taxpayer, it's a burden on the state, then yeah, I mean, capital punishment does have 0 recidivism. You are correct, High Hyperbovine. Can't commit more crimes if you're dead. Prettier. I think most people in society, I mean, most countries don't have capital punishment anymore. I think we've pretty much moved on past that as a society. Hopefully. We have here in Australia anyway. What was the thing with the Bop House? I saw that there was something, it's like an OnlyFans girl's house, right? And I saw there was something about an underage girl or something being there, but I don't remember the full story. I don't think I read the article or something. It's unfortunately still in the US. Yeah, there are some states in America that still do death by injection and lethal injection and death by electric chair. But I think it's a minority of states, right? I think it's like Texas is one, I'm pretty sure, and maybe like Mississippi and a few. I think they're all in the South. Let's have a look. Oh, 27 states. Jeez, that is 27 out of 50. That's more than half. Wow. Not what I was expecting. I honestly thought it was a small handful. So we've got Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota. So South Dakota has it, but North Dakota doesn't. Interesting. Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming. Yeah, maybe, although I've seen a lot of footage of teenage girls being really, really mean as VTubers, just using it to like call people ugly and just say like heinous mean girl shit to me. Teenage girls are probably the meanest people on the planet. They are the most savage people. They're scary. They are so scary. Teenage girls are terrifying. I don't want to be left in the room with one. They're going to make me cry. I will cry. Yeah, it's unfortunate that people have to become teenagers before they become adults, but I don't know what we can do to prevent that. Unfortunately, I think we just have to put up with that horrible. There's a video called The Bop House is Disgusting from 3 months ago. If you want to watch that, I'm kind of interested if anyone else is. Up to the chat though. I don't think my ad ever ended up playing. I was just going to see if it worked. So maybe the affiliate stuff isn't set up yet. Maybe they have to like verify my information with like the ATO or something. You're interested, Dango? Cool. Yeah, let's give it a go then. Let's see. This is probably going to be really sad and depressing. I show my music. Whenever anyone says Dahl to me, I'm always reminded of like the ladies that smoke too much that work at pubs. Because when I was like 18, 19, 20, I looked way younger than I was. And I would always get like my ID scrutinized. I even had the police called one time when I was like 25 because they thought my ID was fake because they're like, she's not 25, she's like 14. So they rang the cops and the cops had to like verify that my ID wasn't fake. And all the ladies at the pub would always be, don't worry, Dal, you'll love it when you're older. You're going to love it. You're going to love looking young when you're older. And now I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Because I can still get away with a lot of shit because people think I'm so much younger than I am. And I'm like, yeah. And the skin clinic that I go to, all the girls there are always like frothing over my skin because being goth when you're young is also a really good way to like, you know, preserve yourself because, you know, you're staying out of the sun. So that's always good. And they're always like, oh my God, I thought you were 20. And they're like, oh, you have such a young voice as well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, thank you. And they never try and like upsell me on things. I'm like, oh, should I get this pill? And they're like, no, you don't need it. And I'm like, oh, thank you. But yeah, whenever I hear the word dull, I always think, I have lupus. Do I see a lot of specialists? I see a rheumatologist all the time. I have problems with my heart. So I've seen a cardiologist. I've seen a neurologist because I was having seizures. My seizures have stopped, so I haven't had them for a while. But I do get a lot of brain fog. Sometimes I just have a lot of trouble thinking or putting a sentence together, and I get really, really, really bad headaches. Like, I have ADHD as well, but sometimes if I just trail off or whatever, it's because my brain's just, you know, having a special moment. Just trying to think what other specialists I've seen. Oh, I've seen a dermatologist. So I didn't have this when I was a teenager. This developed probably in my late teens. It developed, but it's like really bad now. I have what's called, it's not an allergy to the sun technically, but I have an autoimmune. I just tell people I'm allergic to the sun because it's the best way to explain it to people that don't understand like immunology concepts. But essentially what happens is UV radiation, my immune system reacts to it. So will get like this rash across my face if I copped like too much UV radiation. So I just have to be really careful. So I just have to wear a hat and sunscreen when I leave the house. But yeah, it's, you know, it's okay. Look, like, allergic to the sun and living in Australia, what a cruel joke. Yeah, 100%. I always laugh about that. It's like, especially because I moved to Melbourne before I knew that I had lupus. I moved to Melbourne, and Melbourne has the second highest UV of any city in the world. And I grew up in Sydney that has the third highest UV of anywhere in the world. So yeah, I mean, good lifestyle choices for me. But yeah, basically my everyday symptoms are like headaches, mental confusion, heart palpitations, and really bad joint pain. But apart from that, everything's pretty good now. Look, like, some cunts have no arms and legs. I'm not gonna like have a cry about my lot in life. I have a very happy life. I'm surrounded by people that I love, and it's, you know, it's good. Everything's good. I'm not, yeah. You know, you just gotta make the best of it.
It is about Piper, because one thing about me is that I'm never gonna do anything associated with a minor. Like, it is ridiculous that the Bop House would even do that when there's so
Get the lab girls to hook me up with a burqa. Oh, I do have a burqa. I have there's a company, I think it's called Coolabah. They make like essentially a burqa out of like UPF. So it's got the material that it's made out of has like the equivalent of like an SPF of 50. It's called UPF. It's like the way the fabric's woven is like the equivalent of wearing like SPF sunscreen, but it's like a garment, and it's essentially a burqa. If like I have to go out when it's like 14 UV, like if it's in summer or whatever, I'll put that on till I go to my car. And then you can get like a UV film that's pretty affordable for your car. And you can get UV films for your house. I just mostly have the curtains drawn when I'm at home anyway. Sometimes though, it's nice, like if I ever own like my own place, I'm gonna get like UV film put on all the windows, and then I can just chill. It would be good. Yeah, I just started the video about the Bop House.
It is about Piper, because one thing about me is that I'm never gonna do anything associated with a minor. Like, it is ridiculous that the Bop House would even do that when there's so many other people you can collab with that is overage, because we all know what you guys do.
Uh-oh. This
Good day,
already
people.
sounds bad.
That is not the way I should open a video. Hello guys, today we're going to be having a look at the Bop House after much demand from you guys. And honestly, I was putting it off for a little while because I was like, what have I not said about my opinions on OF and photography? But then I had a little bit of a deeper look into this Bop House, and yeah, I was pretty disgusted and disturbed. Now, if you are like me before having done this research, you have no idea what the Bop House is, or even, hey Katie, what is a bop? Well, I'll tell you. Okay, according to Google, bop stands for blown out which is just a lovely term, isn't it, to describe women.
Wait, what? BOP stands for blown out. The word was blocked, but is that like a synonym for cat that she said? Does BOP stand for blown out? Pet name for cat? Whoa. I don't know if I wanted to know that. Jeez. Why? What is wrong with people?
Utterly adore that. So it's basically just a term for a woman with many bodies, or a woman with a very sexual appetite. A woman who likes, I guess. That's pretty much what a bop is. But nowadays, anybody is a bop. Showing skin on a TikTok, bop. Got 2 or more men in a video with you, bop. Wearing what men deem to be a slutty, revealing outfit, bop. So pretty much even I haven't escaped the bop allegations. There's at least one comment every video, which is truly fascinating. So the bop house is essentially just a house, a content creation house, where all of these self-proclaimed bops come together to make an absolute exciting creator house where we get to see lovely content that we've all been waiting for. Am I right? I'll show you just some TikToks that they posted when they opened the TikTok account, so you get the idea of what I'm yapping on about. Okay, as well, for anyone else.
I've noticed a lot of them have braces. Wouldn't that kind of prevent you from doing certain acts, right? Because you would like cut certain male body parts if you have braces. I don't know. I'm just thinking in terms of these girls' careers, like shouldn't they be using Invisalign or something so they can at least take them out? Or do these girls do like solo S work? I'm not sure. I don't know. I just noticed that 2 of the girls had braces, and I just can imagine those causing some injuries.
Just still confused. I'll give you a little bit more info. The reason they call themselves bops is because they are only women. If you don't know what OnlyFans is, good for you. It's a website where predominantly women sell pictures and videos of themselves that are of a sexual nature. This can vary from just some bikini pictures or underwear pictures, all the way to jonking your stronk online, or even making content with other people, you know.
You think the braces are to make them look like teens? You're probably right. My brain didn't even I guess, yeah, no. Yeah, I guess when they pander to that demographic, they probably make a lot of money. I mean, I was reading, it's probably different now, but I was reading like about 5-6 years ago that like teens is like the massive, the biggest like, would you call it a genre of porn on Pornhub? Yeah, that's, yeah, it says something.
No, of the sexual variety. So pretty much the women in this house all do OF for a living and earn a ridiculous, crazy amount of money, hence the insane mansion in the background. But yeah, I mean, it's funny how the caption says, you can't just make a house full of bops. Who said that? No one said that, did they? No one said that. And again, not to be woke, as you guys would describe it, but the first thing that kind of strikes me as maybe slightly alarming is the very youthful look in every girl that resides in this home. Now, I am not one, by the way, to act as if looking youthful is a crime, or youthful women cannot be sexual. I don't want that to be twisted, because not.
I'm trying to work out how old this girl is because she has Hello Kitty, which, you know, is an ageless thing. She's also got Vivienne Westwood earrings, which are like very expensive because it's Vivienne Westwood. She's got a lot of tattoos. I saw a Rage Against the Machine poster. It's so hard to work out like if somebody is 20 or 25 or 35 or you can't tell anymore. It's really confusing to be alive. I'm confused.
Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I do I think often look younger than my age, as pointed out by most people. I am 22 years of age, but a lot of people think I look younger. The haters will say I look 30. Can't really win. But I don't see...
She looks
it's ever
perfectly
fair to
lovely.
call women childlike because they have youthful features or what you deem to not be a woman's body. I think that's slightly strange. But when it is a house primarily made up of women who do look very young, and are very young, by the way, that is when we start to encounter an issue, because it's interesting that these women have an extremely high income and all look very young. Now, the absolute moronic brain-dead buffoons that like to breed in my comment section sometimes will say, well, that's because men like fertile women. I don't think there's any science actually behind that, and if you wanted to use that logic, then I'm sure women would look for fertile men to be young and strong and be able to hunt animals down with their bare hands if we all wanted to go back to the primal days. But women don't.
Yeah, I find that so interesting because as I've gotten older, the men that I'm attracted to have also gotten older. Like, I've had teenagers, high school kids hit on me at the gym, and it's the most uncomfortable, disgusting, like, thing. You know, I'm not calling them disgusting, but just the idea of ever doing things with a guy like under the age of, I don't know. I like men that like look like they can split some wood, they can light a fire, they can, catch and gut my food and cook it for me. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's hot. That's what I'm about.
Women don't often, only chase after younger men. As they get older, younger women tend to go for younger men. Not always, obviously. I'm not saying all men as well go for young women. That's not the case. But as we've seen with this, they're doing very, very well, and it is because they are very young. That is my assumption. So the girl in the middle there, that makes me uncomfortable. Again, I just want to clarify, nothing wrong with looking young. I do look young. And I also understand that as girls that look young and are young and have youthful features, especially when you're a girl who looks a lot younger than other girls, it can be quite... I always found when I was younger, when I was 18, 19, and I would always feel quite inferior to other women, and I still think I do now, because I always find that I'm always deemed to be rather cute rather than hot or sexy. So I don't think it's fair to just make that the only point of conversation as, well, you look young, so you can't be sexual. It's not you just looking young that is the concern for these houses. It's the fact that it is a content house where all of the girls in it, they don't...
I like it how I won't understand something because of my totally female brain. Like, why do they have braces? Surely that's like not a great thing for a sex worker. And then the males in the chat have to point out to me that they have the braces to look younger. And my brain can't even conceptualize these things. Like, fucking hell. Awful.
Look over 21. And I think that is a point to consider when not only remembering that these girls are doing a job like OF, which is quite mentally taxing and not very good for the brain, but also the audience that it's attracting and the men that are purchasing their OF. So...
It must be so uncomfortable to sleep in a push-up bra. No. As soon as I am out of the public gaze, that thing is just coming off and being flung to the far corners of space. Nope. To have to walk around my house in a push-up bra because, like, someone's going to be filming as I come down the hallway or... No. Nope. No.
You get the point. I don't really think I need to show you any more of those TikToks. It's literally just them doing dances and welcoming girls one by one into the house who all are very young. But yeah, let's get talking about some of my issues, shall we, with this house? Because I've got some. Of course I've fucking got some. I can't keep my nose out of people's business, can I? Someone put me down. So the perfect place to start, I think, right now for all of my viewers, all of you beautiful souls, okay, is that according to the web, the interweb, now I'm not sure how accurate this is, but if you do a simple search now, Google will give you an AI-generated summary of every single kind of article about said subject, and it'll give you the overall answer to what you're looking for. So I search into Google, what is the average earnings for OnlyFans now in America? And Google told me that it is between $150 and $180 a month. What's that per day? I mean, pennies, ultimately, right? That is not a wage that anybody can live off. That is not a livable wage. That is pocket money. That is money that you can, you know, get some extra bits and bobs with that month. That is not a livable wage. My main issue that I wanted to kind of cover with the Bop House is that women, and this is my issue with OnlyFans in general, which I've been harping on about for so long, I know you're probably bored of it. People, especially young women, do not comprehend. And a lot of people are going to say, see, you're saying that sex workers can't comprehend things, because that's people's main argument when I talk about how women are victims of the industry. It's
Hang on, I just want to read Rubber Dub Dan's comment because it seems like it might be a bit heavy, so I want to give it the time and attention it deserves. Yeah, I know somebody that one of my close friends was in a similar situation, although she was a bit younger, but she was 14 and she was dating a 24-year-old, and her parents, like, they didn't really seem to care, and it was a massive joke because I remember we were in year 9 and it was a massive joke. Everyone would call her boyfriend pedophile Pete, and when he would come to like pick her up from school, and I've spoken to her. She ended up changing schools and going through quite a lot, and I remember like reconnecting with her when everyone sort of got on Facebook after high school. I remember reconnecting with her and just like, I was like, I am so sorry. I should have gone to somebody. I should have talked to somebody. I should have reported it to somebody. But like when I was 14, you just like, you have no idea. But yeah, the thing is like when you're not mature, you don't realize like how fucked up these things are. And this is why like we talk about adolescence, right? And it finishes on average at 25. And that's why, yeah, but a 28-year-old like woman going out with somebody that's 19, 20 is, yeah, like she had all the power in that relationship. So yeah, that is messed up. Yeah. Well, I know for me, because I always looked younger than everybody, and I'm quite small as well, and I have quite like neotenous features, so I you know, I can pass for much younger than I am. So I used to think the girls that were dating way older guys, I used to be so jealous of them. Like I didn't get my first boyfriend until I was like 14, 15. And he was a year above me at high school. So he was like a very age appropriate boyfriend. And we were together for like 4 years. It was like a really good relationship. He's a really good guy. Wish him well, you know, good for him. But yeah, I remember just being jealous of all the, like, when you're a girl, for some reason, you just want to grow up so quickly. And the fact that like males of a certain age are giving you attention, I think is like feels like very good and very validating for women. And it's not until they get much older that they look back and go, these men are predators. And I see this phenomenon a lot online of much older men chatting up 18, 19-year-olds, and then when older women interject and say, she's a child, stop talking to her, or you creep, stop preying on these, the men shoot back with, you're just jealous because, you know, you're in your 30s or you're in your 40s and no one wants you anymore. But I don't think that's the case at all. I think the case is we're remembering when we were those ages, right? We're remembering what it was like. Well, first of all, an 18, 19-year-old doesn't want a man in their 30s or 40s. They might be attracted to a man in like his early 20s or whatever, but yeah, like the women, I think for the most part are just saying, hey, like this man is a creep, sweetheart. Like please date in your own age range. Like I really think for younger people, like 3 years is probably, if you're under the age of 25, I think 3 years is probably the safest age gap. Anything above that, I think developmentally is one person's always going to have the greater power. Like a 25 and a 28-year-old, that's fine. A 25 and a 22-year-old, you know, it's still kind of okay. But yeah, I see, yeah, you're just jealous is just, I don't think they're trying to cock block you, mate. I think they just see exactly what a piece, and they go, oh, we don't want women our own age because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it's like, no, you don't want women your own age because we know exactly who you are and we see through the shit. Women your own age won't put up with you, mate. Like they won't deal with that, because if you have, you know, at least 1 or 2 serious relationships under your belt, you really just wouldn't put up with these kinds of men, right? And that's why they go after younger women. Like it really is just so they can manipulate and have power over, you know, somebody weaker than them and take advantage of them. It's really gross. People are freaking freaks.
So you were saying women can't think for themselves. That's not what I'm saying. So many young girls, 16, 17, 18, they think that OnlyFans is something that will give you this crazy luxurious lifestyle. You will be sailing off into the Bahamas, and you know, when you see these interviews of where you've got these misogynistic men saying things like, what are you gonna do when you've got a kid? And she's like, well, she can cry in the Bahamas. It's like, that's great that you have the money from this. That's really great for you. However, that's not something that most women will get from doing OnlyFans. Now, if you look at the UK scene with people like Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips, who are having to resort to things like having sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours or lying about...
I'm sorry, but how is that even medically possible? How would your body even endure that much intercourse with that many people? I just can't even fathom how that works. Like, that's insane. Oh, the passport bros? Oh, don't get me started on the passport bros. Yeah, these men are just predators and they just want people to predate on. That's all. Like passport bros, guys going after, you know, the barely legal girls. They just want women that they can abuse, even if it's, you know, mental abuse. They just want women that they can control, that they can manipulate, and can convince that they can convince these women that their bad behavior is normal, right? Oh, if it's, you know, if it's a passport bro situation, oh, it's just a cultural difference, baby. Like, this is how all men in America are, or this is how all men in the UK are, or whatever it is. It's just some type of predation tactic, right? Like,
a pregnancy to get OF viewers. That is how hard the industry is. People so often believe, oh, well, all I've got to do is pop my pussy and I'll get loads of monthly subs. That may be the case for some very lucky people who, a lot of the time, by the way, have money money already, or are content creators already. It's very, very different. For example, if I was to drop an OF now, and no, that's not happening to the 5 very persistent people that I get in my DMs most days asking me when I'm going to drop an OF, it's not going to happen. But if I was to start one, for example, I would have a much bigger head start to someone who has no online.
You have a bad look because your wife is Indonesian. Yeah, people make a lot of assumptions when they see that. Like, I've always been the white chick in a relationship with like somebody that's not white a lot of the time, and the looks that like my boyfriends that have been, you know, not white get when people see us like walking down the street together, they never really like look at me or judge me. They always look at him and be like, what's going on here? This is a bit suspicious.
Online presence, because people will want to see me do OF because I have an online presence. That's just how it works. So when you have these young people, these 16, 17, 18-year-olds who are like, yeah, when I'm 18, I'll just do OF. It's because of houses like this. It's because of creators who like to harp on about the greatness of their jobs and how much money they make and how glamorous it is and how little they do. And the harsh reality is, guys, it doesn't matter what you're doing on OF. You could be bent over with all holes filled, right? Doing the most for your work.
That sounds uncomfortable.
And you might make very, very little. And being that OF and the industry is already very damaging to women, that such little amount of money is very, very scary to think that once you've posted that as well, it is online forever. People like to think, well, it's not. It is. Why do you think people have leaks of people's OF all over Reddit and all over Twitter? It's out there forever. So you have to remember when you're thinking, well, I could be like the next Camilla, I could be the next Sophie Rain. You won't be. You won't be. That is the harsh reality. If that was the case, if it was that easy to get on OF, like you hear men say all the time, if I was a woman, yeah, I'd just get my tits out and I'd make a living. So, well, first of all, you wouldn't, because of how men are when you do said job. But also, no, it's not that easy. And if sex work was that simple, then why doesn't every single human being do it? It's because it doesn't work for everyone. And thankfully, there are sex workers out there, either ex-sex workers or sex workers that still do it, that say, hey, I do it, but I would not recommend it. And I do not encourage young women to do it. It makes me feel disturbed when I saw a podcast clip the other day, and it was of this woman basically saying, like, I wouldn't talk my kid out of OF if she wanted to do it. I would be like, whatever makes you happy. Now, I know people are going to hate me, okay, for that take, and honestly, cry me a river, baby girl. It goes in one ear, out the other, all right? But there is no world in which your kid is approaching you saying, hey, I want to do an OF, where you shouldn't at least try and educate them on the negative.
Well, even taking morality out of the equation and just looking at it, you know, from a utilitarian viewpoint, you can't be a sex worker forever. Your body is not going to be able to endure just, you know, 10 routes a day for however long you're doing whatever. Like, eventually you're going to have to get a job. And if girls even have problems with revenge porn, right? Where they haven't even done sex work, but maybe they've just been out with a guy who's a dickhead and they've leaked her nudes because she's slighted them in some way inside their little heads. And she's, you know, even normal women that don't do sex work can still have repercussions from that, right? An employer finds some revenge porn that's like clearly been made to be found by using the woman's name, because some men are evil and they do things like that to women that have broken up with them, or maybe someone's catfished somebody and gotten nudes like in a nefarious way. But the thing is, like, I don't know what sex education looks like in schools these days, but I think really you need to say, look, like maybe this is decriminalized in most of Australia, and maybe like technically you can be a sex worker, but it's not a job. It's not a job that you can do forever, and it's going to have repercussions that echo on for the rest of your life. Like, for people to think that it's not going to affect your future employment, there are very, very few people that are going to want to have a known S worker working for them. And that might be horrible, and it might be, you know, you can say whatever moral things you want to say about it, but the world is not a utopia. The world is not a perfect place. People are prejudiced. People have, you know, people have a lot of things that they hold against people, and a lot of companies are going to have like moral standards and moral clauses, and it's just a lot of contracts have moral clauses. Like if they find out like that you are a sex worker, if you get employment and then it comes out and they're like, oh, you destroyed our company's reputation or whatever, like who knows? There's so much stuff to think about.
Positives of it, okay? Because positives is you may 1% chance earn hundreds of thousands of dollars. The negatives are you probably won't. You'll earn less than a regular job. Your online material will be online forever, and you are subjecting yourself to the objectification of men for very little money. Now, I'm not saying the objectification of yourself is worth it for a price, but at least when these girls, for example, will argue their case, it's, well, we have so much money, we don't have to work, and we're happy doing the job we're doing. There's only a certain amount I can say about that, because obviously I'm not one to go around telling women what they can and can't do if they're already doing it. I would always argue that I don't think it's a good industry. I don't think it's good for women in general. I mean, having a house called the Bop House, where you all call yourself something that men are using to try and kind of cure women of their sexuality, is definitely very telling of the industry as a whole. Now, you do have some workers like Mia Khalifa, and even I just saw this girl called Ari, of her saying like people need to stop, you know, promoting this stuff to 18-year-olds. Like, you can try having a regular life first. And I think I really respect the sex workers. Or
be right back. we are back. I don't know if that played an ad. Maybe it did. It might have. I'm not sure how any of this stuff works yet.
Or the people in the industry in general who use their time and their platform to tell girls like this was something I did after trying education, after trying my hand at a real job, after, you know, months of working and changing my mind about what I want to do. I then fell into this and now this is what I do, but this is not me saying you should do it. And I like it when women do that, and I like it when workers use their platform to do that, because even reading the comments from the bot house, the things that people are saying, it's not that bad, it's fine. Like, oh, can I join? And you click on their account and it's like a 13-year-old. The world is lost. The world is lost. Now, this leads me to talk about Piper. Many people have put in my comments saying, talk about Piper, talk about Piper. Now, Piper is a 17-year-old TikToker who recently, for some reason, has become associated with the bot house. Now, I'll show you some TikToks from Piper, refresh your memory, show you who she is. She does TikTok. There's not really much else to say. She isn't an OF woman. She's 17, but she is a minor, just to all be reminded.
Okay, first observation. Why are they all dressed like they shopped at Supre in 2002? Second observation. What are they doing? Do guys jerk off to this? Like, serious question. They're just sort of standing around making weird hand movements and miming something. I don't know. I'm very confused.
So, the girl in the middle with the brown hair and the pink top is Piper. Now, Piper's 17. Piper is a minor.
Yuck. Yuck.
Piper, for some reason, has been doing TikToks in the bot house with people such as Sophie Rain and other stars who do OF for a living. Now, one would ask, what does a 17-year-old child, what business does a 17-year-old child have being around?
You know that Cash Me Outside girl? I think her name is like Danielle Broghiolo. I don't know. She's got some weird Italian, not that Italian surnames are weird, but she has some Italian surname that I don't. Let's just call her Barillaro. No, she doesn't deserve that. Let's not do that. She made an OnlyFans the day she turned 18 because she knew so many creeps would buy it, because she's like, all these creeps were always in my comments saying I can't wait till you turn 18, blah 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 blah. So she made an OnlyFans, and she to milk all these perverts for every last cent that they had. And she did. She made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then when she was done, she was like, yeah, I think all of you, every single person that subscribes to my OnlyFans is a disgusting pervert, and like, I think you're all creeps. But she, you know, she milked them for all they were worth. Like, she preyed on their degeneracy. So good for you, Danielle. We salute you, I guess.
Around OF women in an OF house. What business? Yeah? And what mother is not concerned for your whereabouts? Oh, perhaps, guys, perhaps it's a mother that's taking their 17-year-old girl to the bot house. From what I've heard, the mum is
the mum's not pimping her out, is she? That's child abuse. That is actual child abuse. Like, I'm sure if any social workers are watching this and they're mandatory reporters in the state and wherever this is happening, it is being reported or has been reported. That is pimping your child out. That is child endangerment. To drive your child to a residence where you know that adult material is being produced and disseminated, that is child abuse. That is straight up child abuse. No. Chuck the mum in the bin. The mum needs to go in the bin.
Implicit in the young 17-year-old girls association with the Bop House. And obviously, most people, I'd say 70-80% of people are disgusted at the idea that a 17-year-old is collaborating with OF women whose content is based around OF and the Bop House and selling content. That's the whole thing, right? Now, let's all use our brains a little bit here, because I know I can smell the comments already from some of you absolute demon moron heads. Yeah, okay, you're just a swerve. Okay, you just hate women. Okay, shut up. Why would you have a 17-year-old girl doing content, yeah, with OF women if at some point she's not going to drop an OF when she turns 18? Okay, that's the bit here, right? Let's all use our imagination. I know I've seen the 10-year-olds in the comments going, just because she's in the Bop House doesn't mean she's doing Bop content. Oh, fuck off. I swear to God, some people online are purposefully fucking dense, purposefully fucking idiotic, okay? And let's all just take a breather, because I can...
There's a lot of obtuse mother effers out there, let's just say that. Definitely are.
Feel myself getting agitated. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, in life, there are times when you could go, yeah, you're right. She's not doing OF content. She's not. So yeah, let's just let her do it, shall we? Let's let her hang around with them. Let's let her just chill with a bunch of 20, 21, 19, whatever age they are, women who are doing pornography for a living. Let's just let... And before any of you guys say, what? You think that girls that do porn shouldn't have friends? Yeah, I think you can have friends if you do porn, but not minor friends who, by the way, I know, right, can we please have a world where I'm allowed to say that she looks very young and a lot of her content is her trying to look older? Can we have a world where I can say that without people saying I'm a weirdo for acting like she's trying to be older than she is? You know when you see really young girls that are posting like TikToks where it's like, where are your parents?
Young girls, 100%. I can say this as somebody that was once a teenage girl. All I wanted was to get the same attention that my friends that looked older got from men. I wanted that until I finally got it, and then I wanted it to go away. But I say a late bloomer. Let's say I was a late bloomer. Girls 100% want to be told how mature they are, how, like, when you are a girl, you just want to grow up really, really, really fast. And if you have, like, a man in his 20s interested in you when you are still in high school, you just think you're so cool. Wow, look, I was able to pull this guy. He's finished high school. He can drive. Like, I am so cool. That is what you think. I know, because I used to think like that.
You should not be posting all that, yeah? And then if you say that it's a little bit weird for like a 15-year-old girl to be doing quite a provocative TikTok, that you're the weirdo for thinking that, like, can we have a world where that doesn't happen? Because I hate that shit. You're 17, doing TikToks like that, dancing, right, with Bop House members. How else are we meant to take it? How else are we meant to take it? Now, what's the word, right, for when you kind of make friends or you invite someone to kind of be part of your group? Yeah, you kind of lure someone in with the glamorous and fantastic lifestyle you have, and then when they finally turn 18, something happens. Yeah, what's the word for that? Because I'm getting some words in my head. Now, I'm not going to say those words, okay? Because I don't think throwing words around is necessarily legally a good idea for me, because I've heard some things about the Bop House members not taking too well to criticism. All right, so sue me. Please don't. Please don't. But I think we all know what word I'm thinking of. 17-year-old surrounded by adults. 17-year-old that is looking up to people that do OF and collaborating with OF people. Now, come on. All right. You wouldn't catch me collaborating with fucking Speed and Kai Cenat and streamers if I wasn't going to be doing some form of streaming content. You get me? Yeah? It doesn't compute. People acting like, oh, she's just having fun. Like some of the comments on this video of Piper with loads of other OF women. This girl who looks young says, y'all act like she's 14. Oh yeah, because 17 is so much better. Like, if you think that a 17-year-old surrounded by 20, 25-year-olds is not even weird alone, ding-a-ling-a-ling. That's the bell. That's the bell for noncery. Bell for noncery ringing. Ring the bell for noncery. You should be locked away.
Nonce is such a good word. We really need to embrace the word nonce from our fellow Commonwealth friends. We need to. It's a good word. Calling someone a nonce is like, yeah, it's tough. I mean, calling somebody a nonce who is a nonce is primo.
Oh, but she's 17 though. She's basically 18. Excuse me. But in court, that won't land. Your Honor, she was 16, which is basically 17, which is basically 18. Okay, it doesn't matter. She's basically 18. Like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? You also, guys, have to take into consideration when you've got people like Piper who are collaborating with the Bop House. Think about the demographic, right, of men that are buying the OF girls content anyway. Take Piper out of the equation. Think about the people that are buying the Bop House girls content after seeing the Bop House content. Think about those men, right? Then see those men watching this video with Piper in it, a 17-year-old. These are the same men that buy Sophie's and Camilla's OF. And now they see a young girl who's 17. What could be going through these predatory men's heads? What could they be thinking? What do you guys think they could be thinking? What do you think? Because I'm going to make a very estimated assumption based off of the trends of pornography that they would be waiting for her to turn 18. Now, why do I think this? You may be asking. Well, I'll tell you. Barely legal being a very big pornography category, which I spoke about in my video on why I hate pornography. Check it out if you are enjoying this video. And the fact that also you have women lying about their age on OnlyFans because they are aware that being freshly 18 is a turn on for some men. So that is why I would assume a lot of people are outraged by this. Now, yeah, we could play devil's advocate and pretend that this is just a light-hearted piece of content, but there is no f***ing planet where a 17-year-old should be setting.
Did the young girl had a splint on her nose, like she just got a rhinoplasty? So not only is her mum pimping her out, but her mum is, by what I just saw, allowing her to get cosmetic surgery. Darling, your nose hasn't even finished growing yet. Like, I just have no words. Like, this mum she needs to be investigated. If I was in America, I would investigate her, but I am not. So luckily for them, because I would love to have a word. I would love to have a little word with her.
Or even talking to these people online. And if you defend it, what's that? Wait, I can smell noncery.
I can smell noncery.
So that's Piper and Sophie Rain, a star, doing content dances together. Love that. Love it when the comments like, oh, they're just dancing. Oh, that's so sweet. I bet you're 7. Like, you have to be like 9 or 10 having that mindset of, it's just dancing. Like, yeah, it would be just dancing if they were both 17 and one of them wasn't a star. I fear we're losing common sense every single day. It's really weird. And I'm sorry, so Piper, your mum is the problem. I can't even blame her. I feel bad for her. Like, this is the route that you're going down, and not to be like the fucking.
Meet the all-new Movavi video editor. Edit quickly and easily with the intuitive timeline and frame-precise video cutting. Add effects in a clip. Choose from the built-in library and find even more in Movavi Effects Store to lift your content from wow to wowzers. Supercharge your clips with cool titles, fun stickers, electrifying transitions.
I just dissociated again. That's why I didn't catch the ad.
But low key, like, just stick making your own content. Do not, and I hate saying don't associate with these women because it sounds horrible. I don't mean.
I did phase out. I did 100% phase out.
They're women. you know. But I think these women specifically should know better than to be doing content with a minor. You know, in America especially, at the ages of, for example, to drink and to do specific things are higher than in the UK. So it feels even weirder. And I just find it really ironic that I just did a video on the Camilla Bop House member podcast that she did looking at Ashley Trevino and how Ashley Trevino is like not looking after her kids. Now, I'm not saying she's as bad as Ashley Trevino, but I do find it a little bit ironic that you will criticize, you know, the way these girls are so young and how they're turning out, but then you bring a 17-year-old into the Bop House. And I also want to say, anybody defending this, I'm gonna genuinely looking at the comments and doing a little bit of investigating into the profiles of people commenting, defending things that either creepy old men or they are 14, 15-year-old girls who are just naive and uneducated. Genuinely, they're the two brackets.
Yeah, you really think you know everything when you are a young teenage girl. You think you're so mature, you think you can make all these decisions. You look back at... That's why even like a 22-year-old, I'm not going to say how old I am, but like if I found out one of my good male friends was dating a 22-year-old, they would cop it. They would cop it so hard. They would get the biggest lecture, and if they didn't learn their ways, they would be in big trouble. Because I know what it's like to be that age, and I know the stupid shit that I thought. I thought I was really, really smart. I thought I knew everything. Spoiler alert, I did not. I was a stupid bitch. And with that, I think maybe let's play some Stardew Valley and then I will go to bed because I feel like shit. That's why I took a break so I could take some Panadol because my body hurts, because my immune system likes to hurt me. That's good fun. Tuk, 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 tuk. Stardew Valley. Oh, I gotta change. I'm frozen. I gotta change the name of the stream. Stardew Valley Day 3, we'll just call it. What is this? Close? Launching. What's happening? Okay. There we go. Aw, it's so cute. Day 10 of spring year 1. Okay. Double music. Sorry. Is that should just be the Farmville music, not Farmville, you know what I mean. That should just be the I think it's Frozen. There we go. that should hopefully just have fixed it. I hope. I think I can craft something, a chest. I did look this up yesterday, so hopefully. A place to store your items. Yep, that is what I would like. Now what do I do? Do I just have it? Oh, there's my chest. Sick. Inventory full. Yeah, but I don't... Okay, I made a chest, but I still don't know how to put stuff in it. Can I? Nope. Maybe I've got to walk up to it or something. I just want to put... Can I interact with the chest at all? Does anyone know how I put stuff in the chest? It won't work. Oh, I'm just hitting it with an axe. Cool. Walk up and right click. I did do that though, but maybe I wasn't close enough. All right, let's try again. I'm right clicking. Oh, okay. I don't know what I did, but... No, I don't think that's it. Alright. The chest is gone and I did not use it, so not doing good. Alright, let's try again. Ah, let me do it outside. Okay, cool. As long as we have a chest, that's all that matters. Alright, we'll keep all of our tools and stuff. Okay. Now we can see what these little boys are. Oh, these are my crops. Did they turn into anything? Nope. Should I water them? I'll water them. Okay. Still didn't grow into anything, I don't think. What should I do? I guess I should like buy some seeds or something, right? I have to plant stuff. Let's go into town, I guess. There's probably a shop. This is a farm, wanna say? Okay, don't do that. Alright. I can get seeds from the grass by just like scything them. Can I just do that to other people's grass? Okay, I'm just on a random island. That didn't go too well. I take it this isn't the way to the town. I guess I should go home. Oh, there's a pineapple! What? Dude! Oh, it's a horseradish. I thought it was a pineapple. Maybe I just, that's okay. Town past the barn? So that... Was the barn just where I was? Or like... How does this work? Stop. Get some help. All right then. Oh, I got some seeds. Sick. That's what we like. Oh, this might be the town. Oh yeah. There's some cows. I like cows. Oh. This looks like a friendly place. They've got a sun at the front of their house. Wow. Is this like someone's house or what is going on? Can I talk to people? Oh, she's a Tolkien girl. She wants some powerful magic rings. I've heard rumors of rare and powerful magic rings forged long ago by forgotten civilizations. I'm not sure if it's true or just a fairy tale. Yeah, that's Lord of the Rings, baby. That's the rings of power. Don't talk about the Amazon TV series, though. We only endorse the Peter Jackson trilogy in this household. Thank you. Looks like a good day to play catch, huh? Sure, mate. If you weren't a girl, I'd ask you to play catch. Okay, fair enough. Oh, the sewer. I wonder if I can go be a creep in the sewer. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, is that a gravestone? What is going on in this town? Okay, that looks like a graveyard. Let's not piss off any ghosts by accidentally offending someone's ancestors or something. Oh, look at their ute. Oh, it's a church. Is it? Oh. Hello. Hello. Come back. Be my friend. I love you. I love you. Oh, I already know this guy, don't I? Yeah, I already know him. Alright, fair enough. This looks like a shop or something. Nope, just a weird... This looks like maybe a library? What is happening? Shush you. Archaeology office? There's a lot of weird shit in this town. It's locked. What time is it? 5:50. I think that's a blacksmith. That looks like a blacksmith. They've got like a little mine cart and like a furnace and shit going on. I think that is what is going on. Not sure. I just want like the general store. Oh, hello. I'll be friends with you. You seem like a weirdo. Where can I go? Can I go up there? I guess I can. I guess that goes to like Moria, where the other girl's gonna find her, Okay, here's the shop. Where do I get seeds from? Give me seeds. No. I can buy cola and I can buy wallpaper. All very, very useful things for a rural town. Sure, why not? Oh, there's a caravan over here. Blacksmith, we already saw him. Not sure what's going on here. Oh, I'm so tired. Don't sign up? For what? Am I just going around in circles? I feel like I am. Don't sign up for Jojo Mart? Why? What are they gonna do? Oh, here's a little shop. Okay. Oh yeah, there's like a hospital. Closed on Wednesdays. Well, that's convenient. Let's see what this is. Help wanted. Need herring to enjoy after a hard day's work. 90 grams on delivery. I think that's their money. 90 G's on delivery. Linus will be pleased. So I guess I have to go fishing? I don't know how to do that. I gotta do some reading on Farmville tonight, I reckon. See how to actually play this game. Oh no, it's late and I'm walking around. Where's my house? Uh-oh. I heard a swamp monster. It's gonna get me. Is this my house? I think this is my house. I think this is my dirt farm. You is a trespassing on my dirt farm. We love Cletus in this household. He's a good man. Is the old Cletus? Alright, let's go to bed. What are you? Can I interact with whatever this is? It is a Cure reference, correct. Wait, is there a person behind that tree? What did I just... Oh, it's rocks. Okay. That's a bit less creepy. I should get these. I didn't get them the other day. I must have not seen them. Right. Okay. Oh, guys, I am actually so tired. Like, I was just gonna play Farmville for like a few hours, but I am buggered. So I'm probably gonna call it, but I will be back tomorrow night. I'm probably gonna start a Discord, so if like anyone has any ideas for like things they want to watch, we can do that. That would be cool. That would be helpful. Be quiet. My axe is not strong enough. Okay, you've said. Yep, you've said. Can I even get out of this game? Exit game. Exit to desktop. Yes, that would be nice. Screen will shoot. Yes. No. Yeah, it is. I've had the flu for a few weeks and it's just not going away. And yeah, I feel like I actually spoke a lot tonight. I was probably just gonna, you know, read a few tweets and talk about them and watch a few videos, but I ended up talking for like 3 hours. And then that's a lot. That's a lot of talking. I have had so many cups of tea tonight. Any plans for the long weekend? I'm just gonna chill, just have a quiet one. I don't usually get takeaway very often because I like to save money, but my best friend had his birthday on yesterday. I bought them a cake, but probably buy some dinner somewhere. Lots will be open. It's Melbourne, so there's, you know, whatever choices you want. You can pretty much find any cuisine from anywhere in the world. So yeah, just grab some food. It'll be nice. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. It's been fun. It's been interesting. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow night probably. Bye.